I mean, I wasn't ready.
Hello. We're back again for another Bloodpunk-y thingy. This is episode 4.
Episode 4.
By the time you're all seeing this, it'll be Christmas is over. Well, and it'll be Boxing Day, I believe it was. Would be
29th we're going to release this on.
not Boxing Day at all.
It should be Boxing Day, but fuck that.
Yeah,
I'm already
fair-
working
yeah,
over
fair
Christmas.
play.
I'm not.
Ignore what I said. 29th.
Stop lying, Jack.
We're here from the past. But first, let's talk about
From the past!
some of
I was in
the
that band too.
show supporters and the sponsor. So the sponsor is Warrior Prince 3D, and who is run by Rich, who does all the minis and terrain that you could ever possibly think of. If you can think of it and you can hold it in your hands, he could make it for you.
Am I dreaming? If you can think of it, you can hold it in your hands.
Go check him out. A really awesome dude. We also have a discount code
Dispoint.
stars for 10% off. So yes, please check him out if you need any minis, terrain, and all that jazz. In terms of supporters, we have the likes of Loki Battle Maps. We have the deck of mini insults over there, which if you watched any of the Starfire streams, you would have seen us ravagely insulting each other with them, mainly me. And we also have the likes of Battle Systems, who also has sent us a load of terrain that we will perhaps be using in Bloodpunk at some point. Can't wait to use that. They have their own little sort of board game thing called Maladoom, which we unboxed not too long ago, and I'm still waiting to play it.
New Year.
Time is but a bitch.
Yeah, we will set out a day and we will start going through it.
Yeah.
I realise it's too late. The microphone's definitely on.
I think so.
Cool. I had a flashback
I
of
fucking
that
hope
time
so.
we were doing Two Guys, One Cup.
Yeah. The great thing about pre-record is that we won't know until unless we did a little test record
Although I
before.
will just say the GM thing isn't coming up.
GM thing.
The GM mic. There's no sound coming through on Streamlabs.
Shouldn't be on Streamlabs. It's all going through one.
I just want to double check.
It's all
Should
going
I
through
shut
this.
So it's all come
It
through
should
there.
just be on mics. So you should be all good.
So
the
far.
rest of this actually.
So if we all go quiet. Yeah, okay, we're good.
Yeah. And so
Just panic, all right.
They're your input games. Then you've got GM mic and you've got the two side ones. So these are your input games.
Really ending.
Cool. We can cut that.
You know soundboards. I'm leaving it in. Fuck it. It's all right.
Okay.
Just so that you,
Yeah.
the standard muggle,
Standard
knows
muggle.
how it works. The magic behind being a totally professional streaming channel.
We're so professional.
I have no clue what I'm doing half the time. I spend most of my time crying. Oh, God.
So, yes, Loki Battle Maps, Battle Systems, and also Roll and Play Press, who does these lovely little books here.
And they are
where
lovely.
It was just quick sort of inspiration for names and sort of little events and encounters and stuff like that. You can just get on the fly and roll it up.
Want to roll one up?
Roll one up. We can roll one up. We're going to go for this book.
Yeah.
Which one's this? No, we had that last time. Fuck that. Fantasy character kit.
Oh!
Tell me when to stop.
Stop! Oh, nice.
All right. I need a
All right.
D20 from Steph.
14.
Okay, this is for revered tenets of Paladin, perhaps. And what was the number, sorry?
14.
14.
Paladins are shit.
Sincerity. Reject bravado and present your true self, no matter what that looks like.
Ooh, little personality trait.
Yes.
But I think those are really cool. So little personality traits are things that I think some people forget about during character creation. They go, I've got the class, I've rolled the dice, let's play. And I think like having those little flaws, those little gimmicks, those little like extra things can really add like something to.
Flaws.
Yeah, I'm all about a flaw. So I like that. Like for maybe somebody who isn't as into character creation as other people, like books like that can really, really make a difference to like opening up your eyes to like character creation, like backstory and stuff. Please go check them out.
Yes,
And
please,
use the
please
code
do.
Dragon110 to get 10% off.
See, yeah.
You can tell it's a Sunday and we're like,
Steph
oh,
knows.
what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, why are we fucking
We're
awake?
so
Why am
weird.
I not in my bed?
Oh, why am I not in Steph's bed?
Just really
Wow.
wants you there.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with that. I'd never cuddle him. I'm not.
No.
Oh my
Too
god.
autistic for that.
We both sit on our very edges.
How did you know how we sleep?
That's how I sleep. Well, I can have a cuddle. I'm like,
Fuck off.
not feeling it tonight, babe. Sex, you say?
The
Straight back to not cover.
one last thing I'd say is if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to us on Twitch using Twitch Prime, and it'll be completely free if you haven't done it already to anyone else. And if you have, what the fuck are you doing? So make sure if you do have Amazon Prime, please link up with your account and you can subscribe, and it'll be completely free for you, and it will help us out in the long run.
Yeah,
So,
it's not free to run this.
no,
Please.
no. Please help us.
Please. It's Christmas, sir.
But it's Christmas. Help me.
Shut up!
Help me all.
Back in the fucking factory.
Just give me a Twitch Prime, please.
Please, sir, just one little sub.
Just one.
Skibbity wrist, sir.
So without further ado, I think we could probably just get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in.
Just get
Get
in.
in.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Get going.
Oh.
Cool. Right. So last episode, we started in the royal castle where you had been given your rooms. You had a long rest. You partook in the wine and the blood and the baths that were drawn for you.
Olives.
Olives. There were certainly olives. Back on that again.
It's alright.
It's not going away, man.
I bought some. They're in the fridge, mate.
You met Broek outside your rooms, and he took you up to the dining room, where you subsequently met the Crimson Grand Advisor, called Phelan Dawnseeker. Sweet, you forgot their title for a moment there. Fucking babe. And she told you a little bit about whether there's some sort of cult going around, and she certainly believes that you guys are somehow linked to this cult, whether it's on purpose or by accident. But the blood rain happened when you guys were executed, and now you're alive again, which is not a normal occurrence. Just being resurrected like that.
Pretty mysterious.
And she would like to basically hire you guys to sort of head the investigation. And she hasn't really given you a place to where to start or anything, because she doesn't really know herself. But she certainly is willing to give you the means to go out and take your investigation elsewhere. She was then interrupted by what seems to be some sort of messenger that came into the dining room, who whispered into her ear, and she had to rush off. She said that she'll be back at midnight, but you are then free to roam the lower castle, where your rooms are. Whilst you are not a prisoner, you are allowed to leave, but it was heavily recommended that you perhaps just stay there until the Grand Advisor comes back. You were then left to your own sort of devices, after having a little bit of a tour, seeing a few paintings along one of these corridors, some of which had some interesting stories to them, and a couple of people within these paintings were familiar to the couple of characters here. But yes, you were then truly left to your own devices, and then you happened to make your way towards your own rooms, noticing that the door to the tailor's workshop was ajar. And you can hear the machines whirring inside, and you poke your head in, and you notice that there is one person in this room, a very balded gnome with very sunken facial features and a large beard and a very well maintained moustache curled at the ends, and they're currently working on some textile, and they are a masterful tailor, and you have quite a pleasant conversation with him after learning that he is the third child, and his name is
I got a minute.
Dolmen.
yeah.
That was from the
Sorry.
noggin,
Yeah, that was right there.
I
Dolmen
don't even know if I wrote it down.
Palehide.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
The only one that's got a name.
I think I have sort of realised why there aren't names. And maybe you'll find out.
Intriguing.
Oh.
Are we going to get like a boss fucking health bar that's going to come up? Sixth child, the Reaver. The Pokemon.
Yeah.
So,
Why are you trying to catch it?
Look, if they put a collection of things and they've numbered them, I'm gonna want to catch them.
yeah. So yeah, you have a pleasant conversation with him. He gives you a little bit of information as to sort of who he is and the kind of relationship he has with the other children and the founder himself. He likes to think of himself as the founder's best friend when the founder was still alive. But he gifts you some a outfit each, which, whilst being royal outfits, a little bit out of fashion, but it's certainly worth a lot of money. And Dolmen has specifically said he doesn't mind whether you sell them or keep them or wear them. They are yours to do with what you wish. And they were worth 2,000 KF, which, by the way, if I didn't tell you last time, is called Kanrath Fangs.
Fangs.
Oh,
That's the
they like a
currency
theme, don't
of
they, in this
Kanrath.
place?
God, we get it. You're a vampire.
Oh,
Fuck.
jeez.
Oh, fucking hell.
God, we get it.
All right.
Super edgy. Yeah. I only buy it with fangs. Thomas, you call it money.
Mom, it's not a phase.
It's really not a phase, guys.
It's not, no.
It's a commitment.
The things I do for you.
Oh, yeah. So, you leave the workshop, and the Dolmen Pale-Eyed greets you farewell, and you go back to, I think, Marcus's room, and you are on your own devices. You've got about maybe 2-3 hours left until midnight. At this point, I hand it over to you. I do believe the last thing you had mentioned as a party is that you perhaps thinking about speaking to Loken, who Marcus would know.
Well, if we are in agreement, once we're done in this castle, we should meet my master.
Yes. Yes, Locum. Who knows Kane? And like he just smiles at the name Kane.
That's not unsettling.
Oh, it's very unsettling for me.
I'm sure wherever we are heading, he will be able to accommodate our needs and point us in the right direction. My master is both wise and benevolent.
That you know of.
That I know of.
So,
All masters are wise and benevolent.
but
Didn't expect to see him down here with the painting.
no.
Perhaps he has some history he likes to conceal. Wouldn't surprise me. He is very well lived. He is old,
Old?
How
but
old?
youthful, like a vampire.
It's a very good description, Marcus. Seems that maybe there's somewhat of a theme with masters having lives their household is unaware of.
Just a mechanic question. Kanrathian fangs equivalent to gold, like 1 for 1?
Essentially.
Cool. Just because I'm adding it to my treasury stuff.
That's right.
Just want to make sure that it's worth the same. Well, where is Locum located these days?
He would be in the Grand, I'm going to call it the Grand Crypt, Temple Crypt.
Grand Crypt, Temple Crypt. We will set sail immediately. Marinette, please, fetch my loafers. I need my...
You know, they're not don't allow you to wear shoes in the Grand Crypt Temple Crypt. Or the GCTC.
He is in the Grand Crypt, Temple Crypt of the Creed of the Dead Son Risen.
And there's a t-shirt.
You would know, Marcus, that there isn't really a name for the place.
Yeah, it's the GCTC OTC
C-O-T-D-S-R.
Imagine like them bursting in, right? Like do it as if you're a cop, kicking in the door, and then say freeze at the end of it.
It's the Grand C-T-C-O-T-C-O-T-D-S-R. Freeze!
You've only been shot like 7 times.
I've got a really long embroidery.
It's just fucking keeps going on.
Oh shit! It's like hyphenated on the back. It looks like LAPD. It's just like...
It's in the book. What's the date today? 14. 15.
15th.
Oh.
God, I set sail immediately, Marionette.
I'm afraid it's not called that. But you would know there isn't actually a name for this place.
Okay.
Do you think it's something that you would have thought of as to why?
I think there is a... It's sort of like a creed within a creed, I guess. So like circles within circles, dark angels, 40k. Yeah, like so it's part of the Crimson Order, but they they serve their own designs within the Crimson Order.
Okay.
So that they're branching off because they're specializing in a particular field. So maybe there isn't a name. It's somewhat secretive, but it is largely understood that Loken is affiliated with the Crimson Order.
Yeah. So the collective for the part you're talking about is Dead Sun Risen.
Yeah.
But for the place that they would hang out.
Yeah.
There isn't a name.
Fortress
for it.
Monastery.
You would imagine that
Lorgar?
perhaps it's just an effort to be a little secretive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've just told everyone everything.
You would know that this place, you know how to access it, is somewhere in the northern part of Kanrath.
Cool.
Right now, being in the royal castle, you are slap bang central
Cool.
of Kanrath right now.
Ride north. We ride north. Ride what? I don't know. We ride.
If we have nothing else to say, then we can just sort of skip time a little bit. Say just sort of
Level
relaxing.
3.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't think Fear's got anything that he needs to really say or do. He's now like the character thoughts is that he is so put on the back foot by the fact that now he's working for the people that his whole life has been led towards overthrow the Crimson King, and now he's here as a fucking investigator for them. And he's he doesn't. I think he's in the mindset to just play the game for the time being, especially with the reveal of malevolence. This Kane having been so close to the Crimson King.
Yes.
So I think he's just curious as to know more and as to why. So yeah, he just kind of recedes in on himself, and then we'll just follow your guys' lead for whenever you want to skedaddle off into the moonlight.
We happy to sort of just skip ahead and go sort of to midnight time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, let's play it out minute
Unless
by
you
minute.
want to do something else and investigate any more of the lower castle, whatever you wish.
How about you, Gear Chops?
Gear Chops. Christ.
Get on my room.
Do we think that it is worth looking in the kitchen before we depart to see those other entrances and exits that Broek mentioned, just in case we need to make a expeditious retreat?
Yes.
Jinx.
Sorry, I was too busy trying to read something backstory-wise. Say that again.
Fuck's sake.
Do we think that we need to look at the kitchens to see these other means of getting around the castle, as Broek may have accidentally or not accidentally mentioned?
I couldn't agree more. I think knowing if there is an in or an out that they overlook.
I do like to know where all the fire exits are.
I'd like to know my way back in without being seen.
It is curious that we are confined to the lower levels, but we have free reign. What is it they don't want us to see? Perhaps there is more to this than meets the eye.
I'd rather people like me getting to the top floors.
Understandable.
You're not quite mad. Yes. But it is curious, is it not, that having all that power, and we have been publicly marched through the streets, yet they would have us investigate on their behalf. Are we scapegoats ready for the slaughter, or
Just collateral damage.
It has come surprisingly full circle. 1 minute execution, next minute royal guests. Or
I presume we were all innocent of our charges?
Well, I know I was.
Yes. How about you, my friend Marcus?
oh, I don't think I did anything untoward. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I've done many a bad thing, but I agree on this account. They were wrong. But
What did they accuse you
killing a vampire.
of?
Don't
And
think I
Heavy.
was accused of anything, really. Jack?
I do remember your charges. It was having proper silver, non-Kanrathian
yes.
silver.
Yes.
5 grams of it.
Oh, legit, son.
I still don't know how that got there. That's not mine, dude.
You would definitely know that was a setup.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't actually there, you know.
I swear I'm just holding it for a friend.
Unfortunately, was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but was the right guy. It's hard to deny them that. But I will take my 3rd chance at life and see where it leads us. However, it was a curious experience. Desanguination, was it not?
I don't want to go through that again, if I'm afraid. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, I go through it yearly with my blood change, so, you know. But it was a little bit more extreme this time.
Yes.
At least we know what the worst is. Death. We have all experienced death for now.
I think there is much more worse things that go creep in the night. More malevolent things.
Interesting choice of word there for you.
Malevolence is always present. We should go for a midnight snack.
Maybe not the servants.
They did
Yes,
grace-
quite.
They did supply us with a good degree of wine and blood and olives. And I think that's okay.
Like in
You
the
really
olives.
are stuck on the olives, my friend. I will admit to not partaking in mortal sustenance, but we should, as Marionette points out, know our way around the keep.
Very well.
To the kitchen.
Let us
then.
leave this room.
Avanti.
You leave the room, and you know that you have to go to the left, and you have to go past the tailor's workshop again. And you go past that room, and then you would know that the next right from the tailor's workshop would be Browick's room, and then directly opposite that is where the kitchen is. And the kitchen door is currently closed. You were standing outside the door. Would you just like to bust in, or would you want to knock? Like, you know.
I just think open it and
Okay, yeah.
sedately.
It is unlocked, and it swings a little like one of those kitchen doors that goes both ways.
Stable door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you enter, and you see along the very back wall there are these counters, and there's another counter that goes to the left. So it's a big L-shaped counter where there's lots of food being prepped, and you currently see about 3 people in here at the minute. You see one human male who's currently wearing like one of those little chef hats, and he's currently sort of frying up some food. And currently there's another door that's to the right of this counter at the back wall, and you can see as it's slightly ajar that there are some bodies just hung, and it looks like a fridge. And you can
Mortal bodies of Hume, or are we talking mortal bodies of the cattle?
see perception check from here.
Isn't it the same thing?
Yeah,
Well,
to some aspects it is. Perception is a grand total of 15.
both.
Nice.
You would see that, like, at the very forefront, you would see there's one human body being that's hung up, and quite obviously dead. And then just behind it, there's like a whole hog that's just hung up as well. And you can see on the floor, it's a little bit like old, dirty blood that's just been dripping and drained away.
I'd like to go to waste.
The
Go
cook,
on then.
Thanks to the floor. You're like in.
oh god.
Scabby.
You see also in the very centre of this room is one large table where extra sort of like veg prep and stuff is being done, and there are currently 2 servants that are just sorting a few things out on the table. The chef doesn't turn around; he's just busy doing his thing. But these 2 other servants notice you and sort of are quite surprised at your presence. Oh, hello! We were just making some snacks for you. Can we help?
Oh, I do like a snack.
Just inspecting the lower levels as we have been granted free access.
Oh, well, it seems you've definitely made it to the kitchen. So.
Oh, smart one, this one.
Any particular requests?
Oh, I believe my friend very much enjoyed the olives that were served
Oh,
earlier.
we have plenty of those. Trust me, the Grand Advisor really likes them.
He's in on it.
Right, can I do a quick survey to see if I can spot any, like, are the doors leading anywhere else?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, can I also join an investigation?
I'll tell you what, I'll use your perception that you used earlier
Yep.
for that. So there was 15, wasn't it, for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you
No.
roll one as well?
Yeah.
Natural 20
Perception.
for 25.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Let's see here.
Whip that paper out.
Oh, 24.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, guys!
God.
Shit.
So further to the right, you can see there in the corner is about like a lot of barrels stacked up, and you would estimate from the look of it about 40 barrels. Just
40!
yeah, and this time I mean 40. And you can see some of them are filled with blood, and some of them are filled with just other sort of goods.
Olives.
Olive oil.
On the very right-hand wall, you see there is one door, and there is also what looks to be like a little hatch. It's like sort of like chest height, and it's currently closed.
Son of a bitch, these guys have a French maiden.
I would say at least you would see it, and maybe from the household that you've come from, you would see that and go, that probably is a French maiden.
Yeah. Oh, wait, wait.
I love that that's canon for this channel. That's what that's called. We hear people who cheer and go,
What the fuck are they talking about?
go watch
Yeah.
Starfinder. It's like episode 20 something, I fucking... Yeah.
You don't know where that door leads to or what behind that door, but you definitely see another door on the right hand side. And yeah, these sort of 2 servants are on the central table, are sort of waiting for you to make demands of them. There's one female, one male. They do introduce themselves. The female pipes up. I'm Lydia. Just if in case you need to know my name. And the other and the other one says, I'm Miles. We're just making some snacks for you, just like Lydia said.
If I could partake in a finger or two, and he points to the corpse, I would love a snack like that.
Well, we can certainly add that to the repertoire.
Do they look like regular, innocent humans?
I mean, what would make them not innocent? They're just bodies.
Because I mean, like obviously, like they're about to. I'm asking them to carve up a body right now.
Yeah. I think Miles probably turns around to Svajo. Can we have a finger or two, perhaps from the bodies in the fridge? And Svajo turns around, who is the chef. Well, a bit unusual, but I suppose we can, yeah. And he sort of puts down his pan and whatever he's sort of working on. He goes to the fridge and he just, with his butcher's just cleaver, just chops them right off the hand. And how would you like them done?
Lightly seared, a bit of a saute, please.
Certainly will. And he gets them straight onto a new pan with a bit of oil and starts cooking.
Well, seems like everything is in order here for a vampire's castle.
Say thank you.
Thank you, my good friends.
Not a problem. And as far as you will carry on, he won't talk to you. He'll just get on with his job.
Yeah.
We should probably leave these good people in peace.
Yes, have we found what we're looking for?
I believe so.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I assume we'll just take the plate.
Yeah, like as far as you sort of finishes up cooking the fingers, lightly frying them, and you put them on a sort of small little dish, and maybe you put like a little bit of herb on top.
Bit of garnish.
Yeah, a bit of garnish.
Excellent. Thank you very much, my friend. We should leave.
You should. Thank you again.
Not a problem. Then they'll carry on doing whatever they're doing.
Can I insight check them to see if they are like scared shitless or if they are fucking psychos?
Yeah, I also wanted to do this.
Okay, yeah. If you want to,
Because like
insight. Yeah, if you want to do it as well, go for it. Yeah.
14 on my part.
16.
Okay.
4.
4. Okay. I think Marcus, you probably wouldn't be able to know. It could
Just
go
the
either
kitchen.
way for you. I think for you two, you would imagine it's not quite psycho-like. It's not that like, we're gonna be. They're very much just like their servants, and their masters are the highest power vampires around, and they're not used to having guests or royal family enter the kitchen.
Okay.
They're quite used to having this space as their private space to do what they need to do.
I think leaving the kitchen. Are there any like plants or anything in the hallway?
Like potted plants, that kind of thing.
Yes, it's somewhere basic I can dump some fingers.
Dump some fingers.
Not very romantic of saying.
You're not going to eat them.
Fuck no. He'll explain this in a minute.
I would say there probably isn't any plants,
No.
only because the garden is so close down here on the lower level. So
So he will hold on to it for now. Just like doesn't eat them, doesn't anything like that, but just holds on to this little thing, and maybe like one's just hanging over the edge. This little garnish.
yeah, cool. And you are on your own again. You go out into the corridor.
I don't know about the rest of it, but I did notice there was a door leading who knows where, and also a French maiden, rather lovely.
What is French?
Pardon?
Ah, he didn't say.
Yes,
A Chryseidian maiden.
where the servants seem to carry out every task without question. They don't seem to falter at their vampiric overlords.
Excellent stuff.
As far as this castle is concerned, they are exactly what's needed, but I did not
Be
sense
well looked after.
anything fearful from them.
Well paid. I suppose if they're dead, they wouldn't have any chefs.
No.
So it's a win-win. Symbiotic relationships and all
Indeed.
that jazz.
Are we to depart from this beautiful base of operations and make our way into town?
Well, I believe the Grand Advisor would wish to see us before our...
Yes.
Quite shortly.
Well, we get to Browick's room.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's directly opposite the kitchen. And it maybe sort of 5-10 seconds, and Browick greets you as he opens the door.
We would like to see the Grand Advisor. We've got you a snack.
He'll reach out for the plate slowly. Fingers.
Delicacy in many parts of Kanrath. You should try them. Chew them slowly. It allows for the flavour to really get around there.
I can't say I've tried fingers before.
You should. Do it in the morning.
3 in the evening.
He'll just put them on the side on like a little nearby counter or something. The Grand Advisor's not due to be here for at least maybe another 2 hours or so. So
But we are ready now.
we cannot rush her. She has important business to tend to.
What business is she attending to? And this is maybe trying to
Trying to what?
unlock a couple of,
Okay.
I'm doing a Columbo again. Just remind me. What's she doing?
Well, you didn't actually ever know.
Okay.
You just know that she got pulled away
Yeah.
from a messenger that came up and whispered something in her ear, and she had to go.
That's right.
That's all you know.
Okay. Is there anything that we should be aware of that she is doing right now? Does it concern us as we are?
I shouldn't imagine so. I mean, you shouldn't assume that I also know. I mean, I am, after all, just her butler.
Oh, now, bro, do not sell yourself short. We have had the pleasure of meeting some of the staff under your, I assume, given your station, your jurisdiction, and I must say, I have been, as a administrator of a household myself, I have been truly blown away by the level of commitment and just excellence in you and your staff. Really, I feel that I have a lot to learn from, well, from your example. And a man like you surely knows the intimate ins and outs of his household.
I certainly do. I mean, I appreciate the compliments. After all, we have to keep a very high quality for the royal household here. But I don't know what your flattery is trying to get in aid of, what your knowledge you want.
We're just killing time, Blowick. We're just killing time.
Try the fingers, please.
I genuinely did just want to compliment you.
As did I, with a snack for a hard-working citizen of the royal family.
You can tell that he certainly gives you a bit of like sort of like closed eyes, like okay, a little bit suspicious, as it's just a little bit out of the blue, but he will accept your compliments. Well, but thank you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I think perhaps we should retire to our rooms and let Mr. Blowick continue his evening.
Quite.
Thank you.
You don't have to eat the fingers.
I probably won't.
No.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Probably. He's thinking about
He's
it.
thinking about it.
And he'll close the door.
As we walk away, what a twat.
Rude bastard.
I heard that. No, he doesn't hear that. He doesn't. You can go back to your rooms, fingerless.
You can see he's like doing this with his hands and like getting like the stuff off it. You can tell he didn't want them.
Right. Okay, gotcha. I mean, if there's nothing else, we can pass time. So you just sort of chill out in the room, and I think even the small amount of time you went to the kitchen, the wine in your room has been filled up again, so it's been replenished in that short little time.
So we'll
Take a drink.
we'll make sure I'm fully hungered up before going.
That's fine. You all good
With untainted blood.
So you have a bit more relaxing time, and you talk through a few things until such time as you then hear another knock on your door, and it is once again Blowick. The Grand Advisor has returned from her trip, so I know you guys were in a bit of a rush. So if you would like to follow me, I will take you up to the dining room once more.
No.
I'm a
Very
little
well.
busy right now.
Come back later.
Matters to attend to. No, obviously, we don't say any of that. We're just dickheads.
And you start to follow him up again, and you go past all these paintings that you've previously seen, past the kitchen, past his room, until eventually you turn a corner and there's some stairs that go up. And as you make your way up the stairs, you see at the top of the stairs is the messenger that came along to whisper into the Grand Advisor's ear on the previous time you met her. And Blowick sort of is in front leading, and he meets the messenger at the top of the stairs, and you can hear him say, we're here to meet the Grand Advisor again, so you can relieve yourself of guard. And he's still wearing this dark blue suit with 2 square red pins on his collar, and he just simply nods his head and silently walks away.
Is he walking past us then?
No, he's walking off like in the opposite direction.
Okay.
Going off somewhere.
Is there any? Not that I'm going to get the chance to steal anything off him, but like, does it look like they're carrying like any like little bits of paper or anything? Obviously, being a messenger, does it look like they're, holding anything?
You can roll me a perception check.
17. 17.
You don't see any any scrolls or any messages upon him.
No, that's fine.
You can tell that he holds himself very well. His posture is very straight and very confident in his standing, as it were.
The Alexander technique.
The what?
Sorry.
I hear it's been passed down for generations.
I'd say you would see that he has at least a small bladed weapon, sort of just underneath his suit jacket.
Okay.
But he walks away, and Broek carries on leading you, and you make your way to the dining room once more, where there's not so much a feast anymore. There are a few sort of snacks ready, and some of these snacks you recognise from the kitchen, where the Lydia and Miles were sort of preparing for you.
Especially nothing but eat.
I mean, to be fair, it's been about sort of 6-8 hours, so...
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll let her off.
I lasted about 40 minutes before I'm grazing again.
And the Grand Advisor looks just how she looked earlier, with a velvet red dress with some of the Kanrathian silver embroidered into it. She just looks a little bit more tired than she previously was. She greets you once more and welcome back. Please take another seat. And you can see the detective is also here, sitting down at the table as well. We're already here, and he also gestures for you to sit down at the table. I plan to keep this short, so have a seat and listen carefully. Truth to be told, I have a problem. Something that I believe to be a problem for you as well. The cult, whatever this cult may be, I must learn who they are and how much trouble they may cause. And I believe only you can help me. Investigate the city, learn what others know about the cult, and bring me back names if you can. In return, you will be pardoned for your crimes, whether you committed them or not. I can even help you after you've earned your freedom. Anything you've dreamt of becoming in the city, I can pave the way. But if you refuse, we will have to continue with the execution.
Well, it doesn't seem like much of a choice then, really, does it?
I'm afraid not. But helping me in this investigation is only but a benefit to you.
Well, he bows ridiculously low. We are at your beck and call, Grand Advisor.
Well, I mean, you are to go out in the city and do as you wish and as you see fit. I will not command you where to go constantly. It is up to you to try and find that out. Run your own investigation. Detective Ethan Ward over here will also be doing some of his own investigation, and should you wish, he will join you on anything that you may wish to go and seek out.
Well, that would be good. The good doctor does appear to be, and he'll pick up like a piece of like meat off the table that's like dripping in some kind of sauce or blood or something. It's like, does appear to not want to leave his chambers. However, it'd be great to have you on board, Ethan.
And still stands we are not to leave the city under any circumstances.
Yes. And if you do leave the city, we will know about it.
And if we need to leave the city to pursue said cult, we should let you know beforehand.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay. We're going to leave the city.
Well, planning ahead, it is clever, Marcus.
Well, we believe there to be some sort of cult activity here within Kanrath. I mean, it's quite clear from the blood rain that the blood rain came over to Kanrath itself. We have not heard reports of this blood rain coming over Cyherested or anywhere else. So we believe it to be quite localized around in this area.
What of the Grot Mountains? Any action there?
Well, I'm sure you've already been questioned by the captain of the guard not too long ago that there have been some bombings over in the Grot Mountains on the train lines. I don't believe you were involved, but that is not our problem for now. We need to find out what this cult has been doing and what power they really hold and who they are. They quite clearly have resources behind them and knowledge. So it's up to you to try and find that out.
Grand Advisor, do excuse my... Please humour me. We were talking to Dolman downstairs.
Ah, yes, the third child.
Yes, the third child. And he's holding like a goblet of blood. We are to believe that obviously the children of the founder, the Crimson King, Dolman, the Grand General of the armies, are all playing their parts. Remind me.
Yeah.
How long have you been the Grand Advisor?
Just trying to think. For around, I mean, since becoming a vampire myself, time is but a theory.
Yes. And how long have you been awake then?
I would say, by being around at least the Grand Advisor for a good 40 years or so.
Ah, yes. Curious, is it not, that people like ourselves, who criminals and scourge of the underside of Kanrath, or servants to houses, are all here in this situation, yet Marcus here, your master is Locum. Do you know of Locum? There's a lovely painting downstairs with the Crimson King and Locum on a hunt, as well as Wyam? Crassius?
Keep my master's name out your fucking mouth.
Wyron,
Crassius, and
I'm going to.
another tie
Oh.
to us within one painting itself, but also somebody that I was aware of, Cain.
My dice out here. She's
Oh
gonna roll
Lord, she
something now.
rolling.
This is what we want.
Yes, I've seen the painting. It is not unusual for the noble households to get together and hunt, although
No.
not so much recently.
But the fact that all three of us have ties to that particular painting, is it not curious that Locum, Crassius, and this Cain, who was not missing, I tell you that, but hiding. Yet we are the ones that are here.
Well, I believe that to be purely a coincidence.
Can I insight check?
Of course you can, yeah.
It's not great. It's 14. I imagine she got some arms.
It's very hard to tell.
Yeah.
She's quite clearly someone who's very used to being diplomatic and keeping a straight face when needed to.
And the children of the founder, how well do you know them?
Well, I am the Grand Advisor to the Crimson King himself. As far as the children are concerned, they've become a little less relevant in recent times. Obviously, the Crimson King is the first child. He himself is a child, but he is the Crimson King now. He rules Kanrath.
Yes. Whereas the others, they have their parts to play in this game. Who is the sixth child?
You can roll me another insight check.
That's better, it's 17.
I can say you can see a slight twitch of the eye. It's ever so slight. You would probably imagine that she didn't expect you to know about the sixth child, let alone ask about them.
And he sees that and he bows gracefully. He says, I do not mean to offend, but if we are to carry out this investigation, we have already begun. We have been talking to Master Dolman, the third child, the Grand Tailor, and he let slip that the sixth child was maybe going against the grain. Now, if we weren't to properly pull on those threads, those tendons, then we couldn't follow the investigation. Have you looked into the possibility that the sixth child of the founder, the one who brought the original blood rain, could be behind this?
I think she kind of shakes her head a little bit. That Dolman is a bit of a chatterbox, isn't he? Well, we have not yet investigated anything to do with the 6th child, but we have not heard of the 6th child for quite some time, since the blood rain itself happened the first time. The 6th child, I regrettably will tell you now, so I will not have to tell you for a little while, was... yeah, she would. Okay. The 6th child was never favoured. They just happened to become the 6th child because the founder himself gave them the ability of vampirism as a means of punishment. So that they would forever have to live their days immortal. And the 6th child clearly was not happy. And the 6th child then began the rebellion. And it became a bit of a problem, shall we say, in Kanrath. Hence why the founder himself had to resort to such measures of using the blood rain. And as I'm sure you well know, the history has confirmed that the blood rain quelled millions.
But did it quell the child?
We have not heard anything of the 6th child since.
Well,
we could obviously assume that it had killed the 6th child, and we do know that this rain would kill vampires, and it did. But whether the 6th child was within that, we do not know. But ever since, we have not heard but a whisper of the 6th child.
What whispers have you heard?
Well, this is precisely my point, is that we have not heard much at all.
where was the seat of this rebellion?
There was not so much as a seat. They had places all over the city, and they were growing day by day.
Like a cult.
Well, exactly.
Like a cult.
But they were...
I'm glad Marionette got it.
They were very much against the ideas of vampires itself, and even though the 6th child was a vampire themselves, they did not want this power to be had, and they wanted things to go back to the way they were before Kanrath was overtaken by the founder.
Do we know of... This is a bit of a weird one, because I think something's flashing in Fear's mind that he doesn't quite understand.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't got those memories to draw upon, he hasn't got those things, but he's like, something, I think, is like, causes like a head twitch.
Sure.
It's like, is that not like a religion's basis?
I would not say so. I mean, there's a reason we call it the rebellion, because it's quite literally just citizens of Kanrath, and they took up arms wherever they could. They raided weapon stores, anything they could get their hands on to kill us vampires. We did not see anything religious of nature within their rebellion.
Okay, yeah.
Can I make a history check to sort of see if I've ever read anything in the past that would suggest like the division of kind of fatalities in that first blood rain, like how much was rebellion, how much was other.
Sure.
Like children's stories at night time, like,
Yeah.
and then the rains came.
Oh, there's definitely
yeah.
those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's not great. It's a natural 1.
Oh,
For a 6.
no. Is that your first natty one of this campaign?
It is, yeah.
I think, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Weird that that's just in my mind that you haven't rolled a 1 yet.
Yeah.
The information doesn't quite come to you.
So specific.
You would know that you would at least know that vampires and non-vampires alike were killed. In terms of quantifying it,
Sure. Something to look into.
nothing you can pull from.
I will, however, then ask. I assume that you have people working, investigating this newest Blood Rain. Do you have any data that suggests the main areas of fatalities, or some sort of spreadsheet available as to a census?
I mean, for the most recent Blood Rain?
Indeed, yes.
Well, we're still counting.
But was it localized on a specific area of the city?
Yes.
No, it was all over the city.
That's big.
It's quite large. Yes.
Girthy.
Yeah. Get something up. Yeah, get a map. So you can get a little bit of an idea of size.
Fucking
Oh,
hell.
damn, son.
Damn, son. I'm going to give you a book back before I look into it.
That's fine. Yeah, alright. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll get the camera.
That's a big city.
I got it here.
I would know this anyways. It's got a lake.
Yeah, it's got
Good for you, buddy.
It's got 2 lakes.
You are currently in this small little district here. It's where the ward castle is.
Where's... So we're in this district here, yeah?
Yes.
Obviously the Blood Rain you're saying was like all over it.
Yes.
It's only about, what?
Mile?
4 miles wide-ish.
Yeah, okay. Where... Now remind me,
Yes.
where was the correctional facility?
I believe.
God damn!
And where were we exsanguinated?
No, sorry, I think it was over here.
God damn.
Yeah. Because way away from the lights.
So what's this?
You don't know. Obviously, this is the train station. You would at least know that where the railroad goes.
And we went past the station at one point, didn't we?
Yeah.
In the morgue, weren't we?
Because yes, you were in the morgue.
So the morgue must have been over here.
Yeah.
Do you keep additional security on means of transportation in and out of the city, such as the train station, the docks? Surely there is some the main gate.
We have.
Are you keeping tabs on who is coming in and who is coming out? Any?
We've always
ruffians?
kept some sort of tabs on who comes in and out of the city. We were a little bit more relaxed in previous times, but since the learnings of the bombings up in the Garot Mountains, we've had to up the security.
Nothing stand out.
Nothing that we really have anything to report on. Like I say, the Blood Rain was over the Kanrath. From what I know of the previous Blood Rain, when the founder himself cast it, he would have to have done so within the area.
This leads me on to my questioning. Do we know if this is a ritual of magic or if this is some kind of angst-powered machine that brings this on?
I do not believe our technologies of the angst and blood have the ability to do that yet. But I, could be surprised. Maybe there are some advances that I am unaware of. But I'm leaning a little bit more to the ritual side of things.
Is that how the founder brought it about?
Sorry, what?
Is that how the founder brought it about?
I mean, I was not around when the founder himself did it, so I could not tell you. That part of the story is a little bit vague, as far as I'm aware. But investigate the city, please. I will give you the means to be able to walk the city freely and go where you wish.
Now, I must admit to something now that I think could be a problem.
And what might that be?
I'm a vampire.
Fear.
I am, and he's not openly carrying, I am carrying some Kanrath weaponry on me.
We are aware.
Yes, this was bequeathed to me by my master. We are a noble house. I am told. However, I believe it to be unregistered. It would be a problem to conduct our investigations should your enforcers...
They won't be a problem. So
Excellent.
long as you carry my sigil.
Excellent.
Which is what I will be providing you so you can walk about the city freely.
Sick.
Yes, sick.
Yes, sick.
I try to keep my vocabulary down with the youth.
Ooh,
Poggers.
Poggers. 69,420.
Nice.
Just blazing.
Skibbity riz. And I would like to riz you, Grand Advisor. I
Keep
would like
in
to...
mind,
In your sexy little velvet dress.
I can provide all the olives you would like.
What
it-
does...
yeah,
sorry,
no, you're carrying what
what does the sigil look like?
So this sigil would have the coat of arms on it. Give me a second, I can just find the description for it. Yeah, okay, so it has an Ouroboros with a snake's head and vampiric teeth biting its own tail.
Oh, that's not ominous.
Um,
Ouroboros.
This is, you would know that this is one of the favoured symbols of the founder himself, that's actually it. Yeah, it's just literally that.
Okay. And this is the royal sigil, yeah? Or just the Grand Advisor?
This will be the royal sigil, but the Grand Advisor is the one who gives these out and has command over them.
And how do you spell sigil?
S-I-G-I-L.
Got it right. Bang.
Whilst you have one of my sigils each, people will think that you are under my command. So please act accordingly.
Why are you looking
Because
at me?
if you cause trouble or misbehave or do anything out of line, I will be under investigation a little bit, as it were. And even though I hold quite a high ranking within this city, I am not immune to to everything.
And I would say that this investigation will be done by the Crimson King themselves.
Sorry,
Is that what you're referring to? Like, if the Grand Advisor is under scrutiny, who would be scrutinising?
you would get that she's talking about like the respect. If you're seen to having sigils and you cause trouble and mayhem and whatever, and they know that you have these sigils, that you're under the command of the Grand Advisor, she would lose respect and perhaps lose her standing as Grand Advisor. She... would you know that? No, it's fine. Yeah.
You have been very gracious as a host, and we are very grateful to be alive. We have work to do, I believe, team.
Indeed.
Yes. Shall we go to the crypt of the temple, crypt of...
The GOCTP one.
The Grand Crypt, Temple Crypt of the Creed of the Dead has arisen.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, I hear it's pumping this time of
I'm
night.
unaware of such a place. If we're all in agreement, and you will take out this investigation, and you'll sort of nod ahead as if to say, are you in agreement?
Bows deeply.
Yes.
Indeed.
Broick.
Oh, this guy.
Broick comes over.
Good guy.
Give me the ick.
And she will say,
Right.
our guests will need equipment for the job, and they will also need some of my sigils. If you could take them to the armory of the cohort Sanguinia,
That's how you name something.
ask the captain, Sir James Mitchell.
Yes.
Sir James Mitchell.
Yep, that's the name.
I'm James
I'm
Mitchell.
Sounds like he sells oil.
Come on down to James Mitchell's.
And see what he can spare.
James Mitchell.
He will be waiting for you, Broick, so don't worry, there won't be any trouble.
Mr. Ward, will he be joining us?
Detective, would you like to join them? But yeah, I think I'll allow to do that, please. He'll stand up, sort of ready to go, and Broick will sort of gesture to you all to sort of stand up and follow him. And the Grand Advisor will say, well, if you need to communicate with me, just let any one of my elite guard cohort Sanguinian know, and I will know any message that you would like to send. Or come back to the royal castle itself. As long as you have those sigils, you will be allowed passage. If there's anything else...
No, you have been more than hospitable, my fair lady. And he bows once more.
Good luck in your investigations, then.
Not if I see you
And
first.
she'll start eating some olives.
Fucking loves him, mate.
Little olive slut over there.
And all four of you, obviously with Detective Ethan Ward there as well, you will start following Broick, and you go back down to the lower castle, and you head out towards the gardens. And at the end of this garden is sort of quite a small, kind of squarish room, nothing particularly fancy, but it is fairly large.
Damn this thing.
Someone within there, yes. I would say yes, yeah. And you walk through this garden for about sort of a couple of minutes or so. Very green and very luscious, lots of things growing here. And as you get to the other end, sort of like a waist to chest high wall that you can see right over, and it looks over half the city. It is a very lovely sight. You can see there are lots of lights going on, smoke, and some of the smoke is red. Just the entire landscape before you. And just to the right of you, as you look over this wall, is this room, and there's a door. Broick knocks on it before he opens it up, and you follow him inside. And it's a bit like a pillbox. And there's quite like one long strip windowed space. And looking through it, there's a very tall man, about 7 feet high, built like a brick shithouse, and very heavily armoured. If you make a perception check, actually.
15.
19.
22.
Okay. I'd say you can all see it, that some of this armour that he's wearing is ingrained into his flesh. It is.
Oh, get a shower, mate.
Change. Spat everywhere.
You can actually all make me a history check as well. To see if you know anything about this cohort.
Dirty 20.
17.
A measly 6.
Measly 6.
Yes.
Okay. Marcus, you probably wouldn't know more of finer details. But you two, I think, would, at least. Within the Vampire Society, there is an elite group called the Cohort Sanguinia, whose members are also called by the same name. These vampires prefer serving their great elders, their creators, the royalty, rather than serving their own selfish goals and desires. They are the guardians of the royal family. There is only one way of joining the Cohort Sanguinia, and it's to perform a sun bath ritual within the royal castle courtyard itself. Any vampire can volunteer, and only vampires can undergo this ritual. The volunteer is then put into a silver cage, and a normal silver cage, not
Kanrathian.
Yeah.
They're also given a silver dagger when they're in this cage, and they're expected to endure the sun for 3 full days.
Ooh.
Wow.
The only way to get out is either to endure and survive, or to end it with the silver dagger. It's the only way you're allowed out. If you successfully complete this ritual, you are then trained in everything. You are trained in combat, etiquette, history, arcane, and vampiric powers. After the training, flesh crafters put a special kind of armour on the vampire by inserting some parts of it into their flesh and attaching it to their bones. The armour is not to ever be taken off again. A group of blood priests will endow them with a blessing of the blood god on their left arm, and it's to be cherished until the very end, until their last breath. the Crimson King himself would put a ring on the vampire's right hand, and the ring conjures a weapon that symbolises the Crimson King's wrath. Members of the cohort sanguinea are forbidden to feed as they wish. They have a mortal herd that they can only feed on that herd, and only they can feed on them. So, very strict, as it were, very particular process of hiring for the cohort sanguinea.
Very exclusive.
You would imagine that this very tall, very built man is probably the head of the cohort sanguinea. And you can see he has long white hair, very well sort of almost like straightened almost, and a very well trimmed white beard, and quite rough features, but not too rough. You can imagine there's not a lot of people that get any hits in on this guy. But
We'll see about that.
you can see that his skin is not quite crimson, but definitely red, almost like that of a tiefling. You would imagine, knowing what you know about the cohort sanguinea, it's probably from the sunbathing ritual, and you would imagine it's probably permanent.
Some deep-lying melanoma.
And he's just standing, looking out of this pillbox with hands behind his sort of back, standing very tall and very straight. And Browick pipes up, Sir James Mitchell, we have a few guests that the Grand Advisor apparently has, and this man turns around, yes, I have heard of these ones. You may leave, Browick. And Browick just said, yes, of course, and he leaves.
Bye, Brody.
Yeah.
He does seem a little wet behind the ears, does he not? But
I believe you are guests of this place then, are you?
We are, yes.
And you are to have equipment for our very armoury.
This is what the Grand Advisor has said, yes.
Okay.
very generous of her.
Very, very generous.
I've got permission.
We've got a note.
Good.
Says all of the guns, all of them now.
I'd imagine if you're here, that means you're probably the ones to be allowed here. So I can't imagine you would have snuck in. This is not something that happens.
But if it were to happen, where would it happen? Where would you want to defend? Where would you really defend first?
How many guards per tower? 50?
At least 48.
At least. He would not ignore that question and just got to give it a bit of a side eye.
I jest.
Of course. And there's another door in this room where he opens it up, and you can see as he opens the door, the Anx lamps inside light themselves up, and it's like a long corridor. If you can imagine a bit like in the first Matrix when they gear up with all the weapons, it's like just this long corridor, the power of Grayskull. And there are just weapons lined up along this wall on racks. There are just suits of armour just piled up in pristine condition. And he will go inside, and he'll. You can see that he opens up some sort of medium chest that's kind of on the side, and he opens it up, and he goes in to grab some things out of it, and he turns around, and these are the sigils, and he will give you each one of these sigils, including the detective.
Do you not carry one, Mr. Ward?
Sorry, Ward. I don't need one. Well, I do need one. I can get into most places, but having the sigil will only help, to be honest.
But not a regular thing that you carry.
Oh, definitely not. No.
Pockets it.
Yeah, it's like a sort of coin that's about this size. It's not like a small sort of currency coin or anything, but it's quite large enough to see that this isn't the royal sigil. I will allow you to take some things from this armory, but at you can't just take anything. And he gestures to some particular sets of armour, which you would imagine is limited to the more elite guard. Can't have any of these, but some of these normal suits of armour you certainly can have if you so need it. basically any sort of suit of armour that would be in the handbook, you can take. It would act the same. He would say, I would recommend that each of you take at least a ranged weapon, a melee weapon, and a tool that perhaps you can use.
And it's on top of our current equipment.
Yes, I mean, all your stuff that you have on you is just yours, but they want to make sure that you are well equipped.
So I can just add some studded leather.
If you want studded leather, you can have studded leather.
Full plate it is.
I'm not allowed to wear armour.
Well,
Is any of it magic?
do you have anything that could detect magic?
Is any of this magical in nature?
Some of it is, but I'm afraid some of that will be under restricted use for more elite members.
Very well.
I'm afraid we can't just give away everything. And what
I
have you found?
joke you not.
Yeah.
On this website builder,
Yeah.
Kanrath armor studded, Kanrath armor splint, Kanrath armor spiked.
Weird.
Ooh.
That's very interesting.
I wonder if they've updated recently.
Maybe.
That's quite interesting. Okay, so he's going to take some studded, just like take his aesthetic and just bulk it up a little bit.
Just to let you know, everything that you take from here is non-magical.
Yeah.
You can take 5 pieces of equipment, each of which must be worth 750 kf or less. Obviously, that kind of means gold as well. So, you will also receive a coin purse each. And he will hand you each this sort of a small little drawstring bag that has some of these coins in. You will find that these should be more than enough to get you around the city and buy any other supplies that you may need from around the city. You will find 1,000 kf within these coin purses for you all.
Damn! I mean, damn.
Yeah. You can just let me know when you're all done adding your equipment.
I might have to do this
Yeah.
out of session.
Have a little look at it.
Yeah.
I'm nearly there. I don't think I'm spending all that much. I think I'm just going to grab like
Yeah. You don't have to take 5 pieces. You can take up to.
no.
You know,
'Cause I'm pretty
if there's
squared
anything
away.
like, oh, I wish I had that. You know, you
Yeah.
can absolutely just add that. But I can continue, and then if you
Yeah.
guys think about anything, you can say you just take it as sort of a bit of a
Yeah,
retcon
some of
kind
these
of
things
thing.
don't have like prices attached to them, so it might need a little bit of.
If you just tell me what it is, I can say you can have it, like, or not
Yeah, I
have
think
it.
we'll have a bit of a read.
That's fine. The detective will probably pipe up and say, "Well, if we're all ready, we should probably start an investigation right away. I've got my sigil. I don't really need any equipment from here. If you have weapons, by the way, you can take ammo from here. There will be some ammunition, so that is something that could be handy for you."
Because the Kanrath stuff works on.
Blood cartridges.
Yes, obviously. That's what I will be grabbing.
Yes.
Plenty of.
Do you want the book so you can?
I've got a digital copy here, so I
that's
will
fine.
go in and grab that. So I'll add those on. Basically, I'm going to grab as many of those as I can physically carry.
Yeah.
I think otherwise, like weapon-wise, he's pretty kitted out. He will upgrade to studded, and
Yep.
then equipment-wise, I'm going to take a burglar's pack,
Okay.
and then I think he's pretty good to go.
That's fair. Yeah.
So I don't think I need to take
They're
too
just
much.
making sure you're all set.
Yeah.
They want you to succeed.
Are there any blood vials they keep here for like
For consumption or for cartridges? Like
consumption?
You can do both, can't you? You can take the cartridges and you can use them.
you can.
Yeah.
They could act as both. I'd say they would only have cartridges here that are meant for putting into guns and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd say, I mean, you can. There is a limitless supply in here. You can see there are just these like crates full of these blood cartridges. So yeah, you can take quite a few if you need them.
Are there like empty cartridges, empty vials?
I'd say you could find some if you rummaged through a little bit.
Any empties I'd like to.
Okay, yeah. How many do you want?
400.
All of them. Let's say, can I get about 8 to 10?
Yeah, I'll say 8 to 10. That's fine. Yeah.
Cool.
And I will take, I think, just a light crossbow.
Bloodwork
Yeah,
grenades.
that's what I. The only other thing I
Yeah.
took was a light crossbow,
Cool.
just in case I need it.
Yeah, that's I didn't have anything range.
Oh, have they got any grenades in here?
Yeah, bloodwork
Grenades.
Pretty good actually. 4d4 damage.
How much did they say they're worth?
I need to go to them.
It can't. It doesn't actually.
228 or something? No, hang on, I got them here. So, Bloodwork, Kanrath Armory, weapons.
Oh,
600
600 KF.
So
What page are you
for
on?
each grenade you take, I would say we'll probably take
163.
one of those equipments.
164. Sorry, how much?
If you want to take a grenade, that's fine.
Mhm.
You can take each grenade you take would count as one equipment.
Oh, okay.
So you're allowed to take 5 things basically
Yeah.
from this place.
Maybe I'll take one just
So,
to.
armor, light crossbow. Ooh, if I'm taking blood cartridges though. Yeah, okay. I'll take 1 grenade and 2 blood cartridges.
Yep.
Okay, and I'll write that down, and then I will have to add the Kanrath grenades into here shortly, because they're pretty useful.
I mean, you're looking for the sniper ammo, aren't you?
I've already got that. That's
what ammo are you getting then? Just
the cartridges for it. I think is
yeah, the ammo sniper rifle.
yeah. So it should be
Yes.
blood cartridge, 10 KF. See
So it-
special description.
The blood cartridges themselves are the normal ammo for like the pistols and stuff, I think. Hang on.
Let's have a quick
sorry.
look. Sniper rifle ammunition is blood cartridge, and then it says, yeah, it just says blood cartridge.
Where did you find the crossbow?
It's not a bloodwork crossbow. The crossbow is just literally a
Just-
light crossbow,
yeah.
like a regular,
Oh, okay.
It's an innocent crossbow.
just an innocent crossbow.
Could do with it. Weapons better range than mine.
What I've done, Alex.
Yeah, all I
I've
can
done
see
a
that
sort
on
of,
is,
dummy character, Indian Dibion, just like
164.
Oh, okay.
To add stuff quickly.
Right. Okay.
And then 163 says a blood cartridge.
So I know. So, but you need basically every time you reload the gun, you need a blood cartridge as well as the ammo.
Oh, okay.
So the blood cartridge is what it reacts with the angst crystal and
Right.
allows it to function as a firearm, and then you need the ammo, which still has its own little bit of blood in it to fire.
Okay, cool. So,
yeah, a blood cartridge plus 10 KF each is basically 1 reload.
okay, cool. And where do I get the ammo?
So the ammo, it's just above it. I can see here. So you can get 5 sniper rounds for 200 KF. So you can get 15 per 1 equipment.
Okay, cool. So, 15 per 1 equipment.
Goddamn custom things.
No, but I quite like tracking ammo. So,
Yeah, no. That's fair. That's cool.
Fucking nerd.
Pose up. Yeah, okay, I won't take the grenade. I will take 2 cartridges.
Yep.
Oh, fuck, now I've got to work it out. Can I have 6 things? Armour.
Yep.
I'll lose the crossbow.
Okay.
And then I'll
You've
take
already got a range
2
weapon,
cartridges,
so-
2 ammo.
Yeah. UV8.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a lot of money. You could go out and probably buy something like this, like a crossbow and stuff like that. So
Very true.
I'm going to take 3 grenades,
he's fucking ready.
a crossbow,
Yep.
and I don't really know how to go about armour. So I just
Anything that's 750 gold or less
can't really
in
find
the
it.
normal player's handbook.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Luckily, I brought one with me.
Okay, so the detective will pipe up and say, I think we should get on and get on with this investigation. I've got all I need. You guys got all you need?
Indeed.
Yes,
Yes.
I believe so. And
Awesome.
I would have chosen an armour.
Yeah, no, don't worry, it's fine. We'll say that whatever you take is what you take. So James Mitchell is just sort of standing there with his arms crossed, keeping a very beady eye on you all, to making sure you only take what you're allowed. And as he's satisfied that no one is trying to sneak more than they should, you are sort of gestured outside the room. He will close the door behind. You can see he kind of locks it, and he will probably just say, "Good luck on your investigation. Hopefully, I won't have to see you again. Goodbye."
Oh, goodbye.
And a very stern figure just likes to...
What a twat.
Yes.
Here, to be that high in the household and so devoted to your king, it breeds a certain kind of person.
It does indeed.
As you are led outside, Broek is sort of waiting in the garden for you to just be ready. And you meet with Broek, and Broek says, "Got everything you need then?"
Oh, yes, thank you.
Okay,
Gary.
well, I guess I shall show you back to the front doors, shall I?
Yes.
And you go back through the castle, back past the dining room. The Grand Advisor is no longer there. You imagine she's probably somewhere else. And
Olive Garden.
Just got so fucking Moorish.
and you make your way past through these fucking humongous doors that have these huge metal rings as to open them. And they creak open, and you led the way out through the front courtyard. And Broek sort of stands in the doorway as you're out there. And, good luck on your investigation. I'm sure you're probably going to need it. You might. There's a lot of things out there in Kanrath. So, but you have the sigils. You can go as you please. So, I'm sure I will be seeing you again. And you will go back inside and close the door. You would imagine the only way is to go across this bridge that you came across to get here.
He really is a creepy son of a bitch.
It really is.
We kill him first when we assault the castle.
So you are now essentially free reign. You're not being led anywhere, told to go anywhere. You have begun your investigation, and Detective Ethan Ward's already kind of like storming ahead a little bit. He sort of knows where he thinks he's going to go.
Well, so we should make haste before the sun shines.
Oh, yes, that's a thing for you, isn't it?
Yes.
And you end up walking across the bridge, and you can see there are a couple of the cohorts Sanguinia sort of positioned at both ends of the bridge. And you walk past them, and they give you a very slight nod, knowing that you are royal guests. Maybe you flash the sigil a little bit, and they ain't got one of these, have you, bitch?
Was it worse than Silver KJ, was it? Well, son, damn it, way.
Whoa.
Marionette, I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm going to assume you didn't say that.
No, I didn't.
He's pocketed his sigil. He's not wearing it out in the open.
Yeah.
Yep.
They've seen you come in. They can see you go up. And you get across the bridge, and Kanrath is yours to roam. And I think at that point we're going to have a break.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because I need a whiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
So we'll be back in about 10 sort of minutes-ish. Alright, so catch a bit.
Hold him.
Sorry.
Hello. We're back again. From
Get your
break.
bike.
How are we all doing?
Kid is back.
Very good.
Telchasm.
We've all got our drinks now. You're all fucking on root beer.
Root beer.
Sponsored by Bundaberg.
I can't
No,
get
we're
along with it.
Please. Please,
We
though.
can be.
So it's literally like cough medicine to me.
It's
It's not like
delicious.
awful, but I can't get that taste of cough medicine out.
I think that's the thing, though. It's like you have a bit, and then you'll be curious again, though, in no
I
time.
probably will be.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I can put away a whole bottle of Jägermeister without a chaser.
It does remind me a little bit.
Yeah, as somebody who used to drink Jägermeister neat for a fucking laugh, it's probably why I like it so much.
That's fair.
Vanilla, ginger.
It's got a little bit like licoricey.
Yeah, like
This is
it's
what
almost aniseed.
That's it, really?
It's almost aniseed without being aniseed.
It's like dandelion and burdock without the punch.
Yeah.
I like
the
that.
burdock. I was like, define the fucking burdock.
I like Dan Lennon Burdock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which
I
I,
think-
find is probably what Dr. Pepper is.
yeah,
I think there is an element of that in
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper, to be fair.
yeah.
Just
I
like
think
more caramelised, I think.
dandelion and burdock is the gateway to all of the others. Because, like, I think being British and growing up, you had Coke, you had lemonade, you had dandelion and burdock. And for some reason, your parents were always like, dandelion and burdock! And you were like, can we just get Coke? Can we just, please? Like, I know we're
innocent
poor,
Coke.
but, like, can we
It
just...
did seem to me that like, Coke was, the sugars and the bads and
Yeah.
everything, but dandelion and burdock.
Or the cheapest
Good for you.
lemonade going from
Yeah.
Safeway.
Good for you. Oh God, Safeway. Woo!
Yeah, but then you get like, you get your apple and blackcurrant, you get your orange, and then you mix that with your lemonade, and that was like your pop. And it's like then you have your water, you get your Council House pop.
Yeah.
That's
Or is it, is it Crystal Clear? No.
Crystal Clear Cola.
Pepsi.
Absolutely clear.
Pepsi?
My grandma used to have this fizzy pop.
Yeah.
She kept in a pantry, and it was called like perfectly clear or crystal clear or something.
Yeah, I think there was a crystal Pepsi. I think
Yeah.
that's what it was. It looked like water.
Yeah.
But like, it obviously wasn't.
What it tastes like?
Absolutely.
Olives.
There was that guy that did a YouTube video. He was like, "I've got this really old bottle of crystal Pepsi."
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
he was like, "I'm going to down it and see what it's like." And he's like, "Oh."
So
Contains absinthe.
one of the things I want to do for this channel at some point is do like some of the stupid things that people do on the internet, like taking a bottle of Sprite and trying to do the whole thing, or a whole thing of fizzy water and seeing if you can do it, or like just all the stupid little challenges like that. And I really want to sit around and record all those because I think it'd be funny that like we just end up irking out in the field, or just like doing all the little stupid things, or like telling crazy offensive jokes to each other and trying not to laugh.
Yeah,
Just being like, because I think there's a lot of that content which I think we could do as a laugh, but yeah.
So let's put some music on. Let's get into the setting.
Let's go back to the gym. Woohoo! So there's my next character.
I loved it.
Okay. So, you are now in the city of Kanrath. Fuck it, good
Sorry.
start, mate.
Oh, that rope there.
You've been tasked with investigating whatever this cult may be and who runs it and why they're doing whatever they're doing. And you have just left the royal castle with the sigils and the extra bit of equipment from the armory of the cohort Sanguinia. You are free to go as you will. You are at the time of day now. Would actually be sort of early morning, very early morning, but it's kind of like the normal time for going out into Kanrath, especially if you're a vampire. You've still got quite a few hours until sun comes up. So.
Well, feedback. I don't know if Locum is necessarily the best place to start for the cult, but for our own connections, maybe it is the way. I do find it strange that I have led a solitary life, yet I am now brought together with people who clearly are tied to my creator's past.
Perhaps my master can tell us a thing or two about the first Crimson Reign.
I think that
and this
is.
sixth brother.
I agree with you, Marcus. I think that understanding the first iteration is the key to understanding the second. In the matter of blood, and I'm going to pull out some vials, I need a vial from each of you.
What, my blood?
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't even hesitate. He just like bites into his wrist and just.
Maybe I'll just...
Wonderful.
It
Thank
would
you.
be
Just get a blade
one
out.
hit point each. You
And
can
then I'll-
deduct a hit point.
Beautiful. And I'll kind of like pull back a panel on my arm, and you can see there's like
Shouldn't mix.
4 vials of blood there. And
Now
I'm
I'll
gonna
ask why.
Add
No.
them in. Thank you.
Fair enough. Fair play.
I trust you completely.
He doesn't even bat an eyelid. He just fucking bites his wrist and lets you have at it.
Finally, I can do this. I've been waiting all day.
He is, however,
Story arc complete.
as
Bye, guys.
as we begin, like once we're past the cohort Sanguinium and we're past the bridge, he basically takes this coffin and like removes the opens the lid and begins taking out like pieces of like brass weaponry, which he then like since I don't need to keep it hidden anymore, and just basically starts putting together a fucking sniper rifle, which is the first time you now see a Kanrath weapon.
Cool.
And it would have the markings of, it's like a semicircular red circle. It's a semicircle, and then it's got like 2 extra lines over the top of it with a few that look like sun rays coming off it. It looks like a blood sun basically, and it's very small, just on one part of it.
Good piece of gear you have got there.
Just like yours, a gift from my master to me.
Personally, I like close encounters.
And yeah, he will eventually like put it, and you see like these same canisters that he like fits into the back of it and stuff, and it's basically like walking on putting together a sniper rifle before he basically puts it on his back. It's like, I don't get to carry this thing openly very often, so how the times have changed.
because I believe then we are waiting for you to lead us to the GCTC.
This way. And then, like, you get like 30 yards down the road, you go, no, this way.
I heard the tale of a carriage driver who drove 30 minutes the wrong way before driving the correct way. With all this
Crystal,
questions.
how are we traversing the city? Are we just walking, or is
At
there...
the minute you're on foot.
Yeah?
Will, obviously, describing where this place is to us, Fear has a good understanding of most of the city. Do we have to cross through this, like, feral area of the city where, you know, basically 3 fucking rain is the hunting grounds? No. Yeah, we don't need to worry about the hunting grounds.
I will lead.
Yes. All right. The detective sort of says, "Would you mind if I joined you on wherever you're going?" He's been there the entire time.
Yeah. Got a bell.
Of course, I'm running my own investigation sort of alongside you, but I'd like to see what you guys come up with and where you go. So, can I join you, or are you going somewhere that you don't want me to?
Cannot guarantee that you will gain full access to where we're going, but if you come along, I'm sure I can make allowances, or my master will make allowances.
Obviously, I'm not a vampire myself, so you know, I don't know if that will stop me from getting in or wherever you're going. Would that stop me?
Shouldn't think so. If you're here on royal duties, I shouldn't imagine so. If you carry the sigil as we do.
And as we've seen, Locum is clearly a friend of the Crimson King, so surely being there on a royal duty would not hinder your investigation.
All right. Well, I shall join you. Please lead the way, whoever's going.
Yeah, and I'll...
Cool. All right. So you want to head towards the northern part of the city.
And where's that on the map?
So obviously you are around here and you've just crossed this
So we're
bridge
literally
here.
going...
You want to go like straight up here, and you're heading towards around the lake area, and you're going probably that's your destination.
Hassled by timeshares. As we, no, I'm alright, thanks. I'm alright, thank you. No! Just leave me alone. Let me enjoy my holiday.
So, as you travel north, you're having to go through the most noblest of districts first. The very first bit you're in is called the Freedom Square, where the most noble people live. So these grand manor houses and not a lot of foot traffic here. You can clearly see it's very well kept, very clean. And then as you make your way out of that district, it gets a little less polished. And the nobles still live here, but it's not quite as higher end. And then you move through to another district, and now you're into the sort of the more middle class to lower class kind of level of people. The people who have some money, have somewhere to live, but not necessarily wealthy by any means. And eventually, it probably takes you maybe a good half an hour walk from the royal castle up and to get into the right sort of district where you need to be. You would know that the place where you would find Loken is not obvious. It's quite a hidden place, and you have to sort of hunt around a little bit to try and find it. Is this the place? Is this? And then one alleyway sort of catches your eye, and it kind of maybe there's like a little small sign just outside of it for a pub or something that you kind of recognise as the hallmark for that alleyway being the one, and you lead everyone else down that alleyway. And you end up having to take a few more corners, so you're really sort of in amongst where these dwellings are. Until eventually you find another side passage. There's a very small 5-foot corridor of stairs that they descend underneath one of these dwellings into utter darkness. Obviously, I think all of you can see into dark anyway, can't you? So you can always
title. Utter darkness.
Utter darkness.
Darkness.
Got utter royalty and now utter darkness. So you can see in greys a little bit as you make your way down. But as you make your way down, it starts to curve, and as it curves down, some of these ants lamps start to light up as you go down, giving the very enclosed space some crimson light as you make your way down. And you're going down these steps for a good 5-10 minutes until eventually the spiral staircase ends and you're on a flat corridor. And you go along it with the lamp still sort of lighting up, and eventually at the very end of it is a stone/metal door. And it's mainly made of stone, the bulk of it's stone, but it's banded with metal just to reinforce it more. And it's, I mean, you can all make a perception check.
Oh, fuck, I know fuck all about this place.
Well, to be fair, Marcus, you know what this door looks like.
Okay.
You've been here before, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
10.
13.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can just about notice that there is no handle on this side. There's no way to physically open a latch and go through. But you can see there is one small square hatch that looks like it could maybe open from the other side.
Like a viewing slide.
Yes, very much so. And it's only when you start to approach that you can slightly hear there may be a little bit of movement, but you can't really make out what kind of movement, whether it's speech or actual foot traffic, you don't know. Marcus, you would know. Yeah, you would knock.
Yeah.
Just
And it's like
simple
a
knock, yeah.
thick, like heavy, like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, nice. And this hatch opens. And immediately you can see, if you ever played Borderlands, where that guy behind the door, and just the eyes of this guy is just like looking straight at you, with these like dark, you fucker, with these dark crimson eyes, quite bulbous eyes, and he would take one little look at you.
Would I know this person?
You know that this would probably just be the doorman.
Okay.
I think you've seen him when you've entered an accident before.
Jim Dorman.
Jim Doorman.
Of the Dorman clan.
Yeah.
He's a dwarf. Jim Dorman.
And he...
John.
Who's at the front? Because
That'd be me.
You probably would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
then
he,
Detective Ethan Ward.
he would spot you, and I think he's definitely seen you before. So you can see he slightly nods a little bit, and the hatch closes for a moment, and then you hear the rattling of something being moved about, and then the hatch opens once again, and he sticks his arm through, and in his hand is a little small vessel, and there's a little small pinprick at the very top. You would know that you would need to pay blood to get in.
Or just,
Yeah.
and then I'll be like,
And everyone has to pay blood.
Unscrew the tip of my finger.
Yeah.
Twice today.
Yeah, and then I think all of you, as you pay blood, you're allowed to enter. It's a bit of an awkward thing because there's so many of you. They don't really have as many people entering at once. So you get one person, you go first, prick your finger, get a bit of blood, let you in, close the door.
this is quite convoluted. Do bear with.
And you all pay blood. It's just 1 HP after the for all of you.
Oh,
Hard
God.
enough.
Just like
Okay.
chip damage here, isn't it? Breaks a vial.
I'm looking weak, man.
Fucking weak.
I still have 2 blood vials. So like,
Saving that.
yeah, same. There's moments where we need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck it, let's have
Like wrap around.
Cheers.
Yeah. So now you're on the inside of this place, and
Behold.
immediately
Could
what you can hear is the sound of chanting. In a very
like
in a very unknown language. Does anyone know Old Common?
old common.
That was actually going to be a question, because I think I would,
Okay.
given my age, wouldn't I?
Have you written it in your proficiencies?
You explain to me.
I'm old as balls.
Yeah, I mean, given
Or
your
at least
backstory,
some kind
perhaps,
of
yeah.
like basic understanding. I feel maybe not fluent, but I think given my background and my age,
Yeah.
it's likely to know.
Give
some.
me a. Let's put a thing on it. Shall we?
What else though?
Just a straight intelligence check to see how much of you.
You're not even
remember.
getting history, bitch.
That is 19.
see. Okay. You definitely recognise, I think, some words of it for sure. I think because in the manner that there's quite a few voices speaking and chanting at once. You know, like when you're hearing a choir and you can't really quite make out what the words actually are. It's a bit like that. Yeah, it's like, hang on a minute. Satan.
Wait!
Hang on, rewind that.
Like the blows of the Dark Lord will...
Alexa, add strawberries to shopping list.
You would hear blood of the gods infuse thee, and then
Tune.
please please give us your powers, O benevolent one. And that is repeated. So what you have you're on the other side of this door, and the doorman's just kind of like sitting on a little stool to the left, just waiting for people to enter and exit. And he's just doorman, Jim Doorman, as we say. And then immediately to the left and right, you've got some corridors that lead off somewhere. You can't quite see where they go. And then directly in front of you, there's a small corridor, but you can clearly see on this like 15-foot corridor after it. There's a very large room that looks like a cistern, and you can see in the middle of this room is this very large circular pool of what looks like some sort of liquid. It could be water. You're not really sure from this distance where you are.
It's got to be blood.
Oh, it's blood, right?
Probably does. And
when is it not?
you walk through. If you want to enter this sort of big room, I mean, to be fair, actually, Marcus, you would see Loken in this room.
I would kind of like tell these guys, just, best to wait here a moment. Allow me to consult my master. And I will approach Loken.
Okay. I think as you sort of enter the room slightly, you can see, you know where the chanting is coming from now. It's from these acolytes that are sort of knelt on one knee around this circular pool. And in the middle of this pool, there is a central platform. And there are sort of like 3 little walkways, one from the other side and 2 from left and right, going to the central platform. And in the middle of the central platform is Loken, who is not chanting, but he is kneeling on the ground with both knees and eyes closed and just arms out. And you can see, as you kind of look above in the top of the cistern, you can see there are a couple of sewer grates. And you can see there is foot traffic going above. And some of the sort of like moonlight kind of shines through a little bit. And the chanting is getting a little bit more intense. Would you have experienced this before? I think you probably would have, maybe at least once. You can tell that it's whatever's happening here is coming to its conclusion. The chanting stops as soon as they finish the very last line of the benevolent one. Benevolent one, if not malevolent. And the blood starts to pool and rise from above the surface. And you can see the sort of beads of this blood is now being drawn to Loken. And as he's holding his hands out, the blood is drawn into his hands, into his arms, and he is absorbing it through his skin. And after about a couple of minutes or so of this happening, you can start to see the red veins kind of creep up from his neck and over his face. And his eyes burst open, and they are like the brightest crimson red eyes you've ever seen. And his mouth just goes open as he's kind of consuming this power of what they deem to be the power. And another couple of minutes pass, and the blood starts to slow down, and then it pulls back into the surface and rests. And Loken takes this very long breath. And he rises and stands. Fuck myself up there. And he opens his eyes again and notices you directly in front of him. Ah, Loken!
Now, if you've quite finished, I should like... No, that's it.
Not Loken!
Oh.
I am Loken! Marcus!
Oh, got it. He's a himbo. Sure.
I get a little confused sometimes.
Little blood drunk.
Fuck's sake.
I will say,
Yeah, Marcus, my friend.
Master, Grand Acolyte Logan, how
he-
bid thee?
He will, he won't answer you right now, but he will walk off one of the walkways and come round.
Rude. So just wait here.
He'll shake your hand and just give it a quick butt on the shoulder and just be like,
Yeah.
how are you doing, old friend?
I fare well. There's much to discuss.
Been a little while. What have you been?
I have been to the Royal Castle. I have been to
The Royal
prison.
Castle?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, really, really.
You?
Really?
There is much to discuss, and I have some questions, should you find the time. I also have with me three companions.
Two or three.
I sought to ask for your permission to bring them into this crypt beforehand. Should you be willing to allow them access? If not, they are waiting outside.
Well, if you truly deem them friends of yours,
I
Then they're
have
friends
no
of mine.
reason to distrust them at this time. And then I might think about fear.
well, hopefully they know not
Fair
to.
point.
Hopefully they know not to
Isn't it quiet?
cause any trouble, shall we say? Show me. Bring me to your friends.
Friends, companions, come forward. Come forward.
Come forward.
Come forward. Come forward, please.
And if you are brought forward,
And I will say, this is Grand Acolyte Logan, my master.
it is very good to meet you. What are your names?
My name is Marionette.
Marionette, very nice to see you. And yourself?
And he like removes the hat. Holds it down. He says, I am Fear, Grandmaster.
Very apt name. I'm sure you strike fear in many that you seek.
Oh, I do.
And this is Ethan.
Oh, I know of Detective
Ethan
Ward. How are you, dear boy? dear Detective here, dear boy. Ethan Ward just said, how are you doing, Logan? You know, good to see you once again. It's been a while.
I knew that I was going to get one.
It sure has. Now, what do I have the pleasure?
I think I'm gonna demonstrate a couple of pleasantries, and then I'll be like, best to start from the beginning, my master. I was meditating, as you do, in the crypt, where I was taken by the authorities. They found a bag of illegal silver in my possession, though I swear.
He looks at you inquisitively.
Yeah. I believe it was placed by someone else and I was set up. Now, fast forward. I am being transported to a prison along with some of my companions here, whereupon we were, in due course, executed.
I think at that point, you say that you were executed, but you haven't been, or have, and then something's happened. You go, let's wait there. Leave us! And all the other acolytes who were maybe just passing in and out, just sort of maybe wide-eyed and rush off with whatever they're holding and exit the room. And you now have this sort of cistern room to yourselves. Carry on. You were executed, but you're here.
We were executed. However, we awoke some time later. To our knowledge, after the recent passing of the Crimson Rain. We have no knowledge as to what may have resurrected us, though we found ourselves in some sort of morgue, lacking our equipment. We were then seized by the authorities again, and we were transported to... I'm going to retcon a bit and tell about the trial.
Oh yeah.
How we were judged
That's
and
fine.
stuff.
Yeah. I'm assuming that most of what you said
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just everything that kind of happened. Yeah.
Whereupon we were taken by the authorities again. This time they displayed considerable interest in our story, and we were taken to the Royal Castle, whereupon we were greeted by the Grand Advisor. What's her name?
Olive.
Phelan Dawnseeker. We were accommodated very comfortably. where we remained for some time, and we believe that the Crimson Rain has something to do with a cult. We come seeking guidance on this matter. And then, yeah.
It certainly seems you've had quite the journey, all of you. This is quite a lot in the last,
How long has it been?
3 hours.
5, 7 days, a week, perhaps.
Kanrath never sleeps.
It is very true. Now, so the Grand Advisor has sort of hired you as her personal investigators.
Yes. I must say, Master, I was not aware of your affiliation with the royal household. For you see, there is a portrait of you in the castle. Get out! Never come back! And this isn't like...
He's goading him into attacking him.
I'm not trying to like interrogate him, I'm literally curious.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't know that about you.
He sees through that you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
A
This
sign.
this is why we came to seek your advice first, as we can understand that you have some sort of affiliation.
I am pleased you came to me.
It is
I
good to
see
be
there's
here,
a-
Master.
At least
Good to see you.
a deal of trust between us.
Yes.
And you and I, Marcus. And that painting is a times gone by. Did you mention the dead sun risen at all? Of your visit to the royal castle?
No. I don't think I did. I think I might have explained it to these guys, but not
I think you did.
shit.
I think because you mentioned the dead sun risen, because you were like
You expect them to
mentioned
know what the house
Yeah.
is.
how you knew
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, that's right.
To Broick.
Yeah.
And Broick said he'd never heard of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Stupid boy!
Draining the blood.
Blood.
Can I insight? Well, that when he says, "Did you mention it?" Is that like a shit? I need him not to have said something, or is that like a
I make an insight.
come on, big money? 19 plus 0, 19.
I'll tell you, you get the vibe that he wishes Marcus hadn't, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, cool.
Obviously, as you know, Marcus, we are a sect of the Crimson Order. A smaller side bit, shall we say.
A side piece, if you will.
Side piece of the Crimson
Lovely,
Order.
lovely side piece.
Don't tell your wife.
Or your other masters.
Indeed, I do apologise, my master. Since we were in the royal household, there were no secrets to be kept in presence of the Grand Advisor.
It's fine.
I thought honesty would be the best policy.
I understand you were in the royal castle itself, so it would have not done you good to lie.
Indeed.
So I cannot blame you fully. However, I would.
Oh God, thank you.
I would restrain.
What's the saying?
Caution restraint.
I would caution restraint for any further discussion of the dead sun risen.
Very well, my master.
As
Seeing there's other people here that aren't part of the dead sun risen here. You don't even have to make an insight on this. You can tell that there's stuff going on here that he doesn't want people to know.
we do things a little differently here than we do in the Crimson Order. We still follow the same rules, but we bend them slightly. Anyway, what information do you want from me?
We wish to understand the passing of the first Crimson Rain, as you yourself were friends of the founder, it seems, and the founder perished around the time.
Yes, we were friends, but not, let's say friendly acquaintances, rather than actual friends. But, obviously as you've seen the painting, we had gone on the great hunt together. And as I say, that was a time long gone. As far as the first Crimson Reign is concerned, yes, I was around when that happened. There were casualties on both fronts, both for the rebellion and for us vampires. The rebellion was most hard hit from it, but the vampires by no means had their own large amount of casualties. In terms of numbers, I couldn't really tell you. Let's just say the bodies were piled high.
Do you know, and forgive my impertinence in interrupting you, Grandmaster Locum, how the Founder brought around the Crimson Reign the first time?
I was not there when he cast whatever magics that he has.
And you do believe it to be magic?
It's the only way I can explain it. I can't imagine it would be technology. I mean, I've seen the workings of the angst and blood together. I do not believe that we have the knowledge to be able to create such a thing with just technology. There must be an otherworldly force to this. And obviously the Founder was very powerful indeed.
The Founder was very powerful. Do you know at all if his casting of this great and powerful spell was public, or do you know if it was done in private?
That's a good question. Give him a little history check.
It was made publicly, but also private at the same time. He had to be somewhere central in the city, but he needed to be able to see the space around him. So he had his most elite guard create a perimeter. It was not within the confines of the royal castle, but within the Freedom Square, which, as I'm sure you well know, having have to pass through it, is one of the most noble districts in Kanrath, and only the most noble of vampires are allowed to enter. But he conducted this spell, or whatever magics he did. Like I say, I was not there, I was not present, but from what we know, he cast whatever he cast there within the Freedom Square, openly.
Mr. Ward, maybe a secondary investigation into Freedom Square this time round, to see if anybody saw anything untoward.
Sure, I think we probably can do that. I mean, I'm not sure how willing the nobles will be, but we've got these sigils now, so maybe they'll talk.
Well, I'm sure the Royal Sigil can make them talk.
I should certainly hope so.
Is there anything you can tell us about this recent reign? Assuming you would have seen it.
Well,
My master?
I know not of it. If the blood rain has happened again, which it clearly has, the Founder is dead, which means someone or something has gained the abilities that the Founder once had. Clearly, I do not know how.
Would you have any guesses as to if any of his children were to have, his 6 children, were to have this power? And if so, would you put it upon any of them?
Blood is a very powerful liquid. It is a primal essence that runs within our bodies. As I'm sure you've just witnessed, the ritual I just underwent, that I know a thing or two about blood.
Ah, yes.
The blood that resides within vampires is what gives them their abilities. If I were to do give any sort of guess, perhaps someone found Founder's blood.
Ah.
Founders.
And he looks to you both.
Now that would be very interesting. Ethan, Detective Ward, does the castle has
I grabbed the furnace and
does the castle keep the founder's body, or would?
and he like looks to Locum.
The creation of an apprentice underneath the bequeathing of your own blood, not necessarily yours, but the founder's, into his children, give them this power.
The ways that the vampires work, by making someone your child, as it were, does not give them your abilities as such. I do not believe that that's how it is gained, especially of a power that of that magnitude would not be transferred from a founder to his child. That is something excessive indeed. Like I say, I would only hazard a guess that somehow, someone, somewhere, has gained Founder's blood and somehow used it for their own.
Was the founder ever kind of like given a sort of state funeral kind of thing? Did they have the whole lying in state thing where people could come and mourn?
They had
or
a
was
coronation.
it all very... just a coronation but no funeral?
Yes.
Good to know.
Would they?
Well, I mean, do we know how and when the founder died?
I'm trying to give you a very specific time.
7:45.
On a Tuesday. Just after he'd had his
Tuesday.
poached eggs.
He went for a shit and squeezed too hard. Had an aneurysm.
Went like Elvis. His hero, canonically.
The founder. He's got like a crimson wine red Elvis suit on with the collar, but it's rhinestone to shit.
You ain't nothing but a vampire, biting all the time.
That slick back hair of his.
I'll have to look at the book. I think it was 250 years ago. I think you would know that it was 250.
This is the first reign.
When of the first reign.
Sorry.
No, when
So the founder died 250 years ago.
and the blood rain was
So, 200.
okay.
Oh.
Wait, hang on.
No,
Okay.
yeah, that doesn't
No,
work
no,
out,
no.
does it?
Wait a minute.
Now, if I do my maths correctly,
All right, hang on.
you're
a minute.
lying, Locum.
I'm telling Porky's my master.
You rat bastard!
Source.
That's all right.
So the castle, I've got the castle was created 250 years ago.
Just when
Right, hang on. I
found
think
it.
Right.
Came along.
I think I can give you actual dates here.
I've got the Grand Hunt one was 70 years ago.
Correct.
And hunt.
The Grand Advisor has been an advisor for 50 years.
Right. I might have to back on a few things here. Okay.
Ta-
The current year, I'll give you the current year you're in right now.
Mhm.
You're in 539 NE.
539, you say?
539 NE.
Northeast. What's NE stand for?
It stands for something.
Nubile energy.
The narrative era.
Ooh.
You would know that DE, which is obviously before NE, is the depicted era.
Ah. I assume where records began.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, so forget all about I've said how long ago the founder died. So it was only 38 years ago. So the year 501 NE is when the founder passed away.
Yeah, okay. So, you know that the rebellion was between 452 NE and 455 NE, so it lasted for 3 years, this rebellion. And on that last year, 455, is when the first Crimson Reign happened.
Concluded with the first Crimson Reign. Is that what you said?
Yes. Yep. I forgot about that page.
So the portrait that we saw, just to see if that needs retconning.
In the dining room.
Yeah, no, the one of the Grand Hunt.
Oh, the Grand Hunt.
Would that have been before the coronation of the Crimson King when he was just the first child? Or are we saying that that's more recent?
Yeah, because it was in the Crimson King. So, yeah, so you would know it's in between the time, judging from the picture, that it was between when the founder died and now.
Okay. It's what joined the Crimson King. Okay, cool. And on top of that, obviously back to the state funeral thing, the founder died, and there was kind of this like... basically, is his body destroyed, or is there like an entombed crypt for the...
Loken would say there is a tomb that the founder is held within, though I could not tell you the location. That is kept private.
He just looks towards Ethan.
Don't look to me. I don't know where it is either.
No, I'm just saying
there's a
that maybe
coronation for him, but
discussion with the castle, they may need to look into whether or not a tomb has been recently opened for founder blood.
well, certainly keep it in mind. We can go tell Grand Advisor or something whenever you feel like it.
And, my master, is it possible to learn this power, or does it have to come from Founder's blood?
Power.
If there was a cred stick going on now, I'd probably get it.
I don't know.
The level of power to be able to conjure the blood rain is immense. I do not think that it could be just simply learned. I think there has to be
Not from a...
a certain level of innate ability. A very deep connection, perhaps to the blood god himself.
Indeed. May I ask, Master? There are 6 children.
There is.
What of the 6th?
Well, I know that when the first blood rain happened, the 6th child was the leader of this rebellion.
Ah. Now
They are
there's-
the ones who started the rebellion. Do you know of how the 6th child became the 6th child?
Remind me.
Please do enlighten us, Grandmaster.
Just make sure I get my facts right.
Grand Acolyte.
Grand Acolyte.
The 6th child was the head of the rebellion before they were a vampire. The founder found them and made them a vampire to make them go against exactly what they fought for
Ironic
as a
justice.
punishment. Obviously, the 6th child did not take likely to being changed. It is believed the 6th child has been killed within the blood rain that first time it happened, and they've not been heard of or seen of since. I could not tell you much more.
Do you remember what they were called? This 6th child.
I never had the pleasure.
Not common knowledge. If you were, and forgive me for not understanding the ways of your sect, to branch off from a religion or to begin something new, or as we've been tasked, and he looks to Ethan Ward, and it's almost like he's trying to gesture that Ethan's then saying this, not him, to begin your own cult, where would you begin? Where would you have us look?
I mean, starting a cult can start anywhere. You just need but a place, the right people beside you. The same morals and the same visions as you. That's how these things start. And then eventually you get more and more people by your side, by you convincing them or paying them, maybe. I couldn't tell you where a cult would start. It could be anywhere. There is no favorable place. If a cult was to be against Kanrath and anything it goes for, then maybe the cult was started outside of Kanrath. I mean, but it could have been started inside as well. I could not tell you.
Especially if they thought they were only bending the rules.
Precisely.
I suppose one of the most unknowns is why we are all involved. You see, this portrait, the reason why it came with such curiosity is because each person within this portrait had relations with each and every one of us. Yourself, Master?
Absolutely did not. No. Not
Affiliations with everyone.
If that's what love is,
I understand.
I wish it not upon a single...
Who else in this painting of the Great Hunt was affiliated with the rest of you?
My household head, Master Wyron Crassius.
Ah, Crassius.
You know him,
A kind soul.
indeed.
Quite kind for a vampire, at least.
Kindly vampire.
Kept to himself a lot. I know you quite a successful business, and we didn't talk much, but he was friendly enough. And yourself, Fear?
And he just mutters, "Malevolence." And then just looks at him and goes, "My master, Cain."
Cain.
Cain!
Where's Abel?
Little Bible joke there for you.
No, I got it. Chose to ignore. None of that here. I'm a Satanist.
We're in a cult room. Be respectful.
We're playing a Dungeons and Dragons. None of that Jesus stuff.
Yes, quite the personality.
Oh, isn't he just?
Quite the opposite to young Wyron Crassius, I would say. May I ask what your affiliation with him is?
He is my master. He gifted me this life, and he raised me to be his apprentice. But now I am the master. He is
Where
gone.
is Cain?
He is dead.
Is he? How did he die? Vampires are quite hard to kill.
Well, when I found him, he had a silver dagger in his heart and had been flayed.
Woohoo!
So
Nasty way to go.
nasty way. And you just found him like this?
Yes,
Curious.
curious indeed.
Curious.
But and like he's just like dead-eyed at this point. Like, even though you can see behind the glasses, but it's not phasing him in the slightest.
Are you sure it was Cain you saw?
Well, it would be hard, Trex, to believe that it could be anybody else, but
I mean, if he was flayed, he would have no skin.
very true, but nobody knew where or who he was. I did not know his name was Cain until yesterday. I only know him as Malevolence. But you say about the whispering murmurs of cults and a place to start, and he looks up to the grates that clearly like go up onto the street. You must hear a lot from down here. Of the passers-by.
I have a few eyes and ears around, for sure.
And what is your?
And like his eyes flash to Marcus for a second, and then back.
Your thoughts on the Crimson King. Would you... You clearly bend the rules to how you wish to play the game. And maybe once Cain was a friend, but I assure you in the end he was not a friend of the Crimson King's. How about you? Would you usurp him?
It is not in my interest to usurp the throne. I merely seek
Power.
to be better.
Ah, that is what we're calling it.
But you say this malevolence did not like the Crimson King?
Oh, you loathed him entirely.
That is not what I remember of Cain. What have you heard from malevolence in your time that you knew him? What makes you think that he wanted to take power from himself?
Because I was being raised to kill him.
And now your master is no longer here.
Yes.
And now you are left wandering the streets alone.
Yes.
So what purpose do you serve now? Do you carry out your master's orders still, or do you go your own way?
Time is yet to tell.
And he like looks to Ethan and just like cocks his head because this will be the first time Ethan's hearing any of this. It's like,
We will see what strings they pull. And if they turn on me, I will show them malevolence.
and he's just like now staring into like the blood pool.
A true follower of malevolence, as you say. Maybe one day you perhaps take the place of him, especially with that attitude.
He goes quiet.
And you see Detective Ethan Woods like roaring your down.
Holy shit! Where the fuck did we land?
Got myself in a real
Have to join a union.
bit of a problem here.
Gosh, for a fucking raise.
Well, the only suggestion I can give you is a bit of a, I guess, a lead, is to go to the southwest of Kanrath, which is the lower end of town. Poverty is awry. The
Looks like it's back the way we came.
scum of Kanrath reside here.
Whoa, Master, no.
No, it is quite all right.
You'd be, it'd be good for you to have eyes on the back of your head when you venture into such parts of the city. Don't worry, this is not part of the hunting zone, as it were, so you would not be freely attacked by the vampires, although you are vampires yourselves, you too.
Wise to keep vigilant, just as you trained me, Sir Master.
Quite, Marcus. I mean, he probably just looks to Detective Ethan, who's clearly not a vampire. You best keep yourself safe as well, Detective. And I hope that what you've seen here today will not be just spoken about freely.
And he will try to intimidate Ethan.
Nat one, please.
You can see the detective is kind of a little bit wide-eyed, kind of like, understood. And he makes a little note.
Marionette.
Indeed.
Obviously, the Grand Acolyte Locum here had many a ties to both you and I. Well, our masters. Is there anything else you wish to know before we make haste?
from what I'm hearing, it seems my master did not associate widely amongst this group, but you say you knew of him.
Yes.
When was it that you last saw or spoke with him?
When was that portrait taken?
Good question. It must have been some time ago now.
If you could put a number on it.
Maybe
If I could
somewhere
put a
after
number on
501 in between 501 and 539 NE.
I could not tell you how many years, but it has been years.
Can I insight check that?
Of course. Of course.
Fucking why?
It's a 1
Oh,
for a 6.
you think he's telling the truth? Are you? Do you not know where he is?
I
going
know
on?
he is currently away with the family. Obviously, my situation has been somewhat of a trial in the last week or so, but I know they have had a small delay. I was just wondering if perhaps, seeing as you were friendly, you had heard anything.
How long have they been on a family trip?
How long have they been on that family trip, actually? I don't think we have put a number on it. Because I think Marinette's probably lost count.
Yeah, true,
Yeah.
true. Make a history check just to see whether you can kind of have a bit of a time trick.
13.
That's it, okay. They've been gone.
Definitely between 1 and 39 years.
From your perspective, they've gone probably about a year.
Yeah.
And
It is not a small trip, my
you've
friend.
been left alone for all that time.
Yeah.
Within, if I would say, 3, 6, 12 months?
Quite a range of dates there.
12 months.
They've been gone a year.
Yes,
It's quite a long time,
it is.
especially for a family trip.
Yes.
And I know that the Wyron used to go on business trips, but if he's gone with his family, it does change things somewhat.
How so?
Well, us vampires we like our residences. We like being at home, as it were. We'll do what we need to outside of them. And, clearly the Wyron has his own business, which does sometimes take him to Cyherested. I know that. But to be gone for a year, that's a long time. Even for us vampires, who are clearly immortal.
Do we know what your family business is?
No.
Can I make a history check? Because obviously I've been
Yeah,
sleuthing.
you'd have to get a fucking eye. You can as well, Marcus, if you wish.
History.
10.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh boy, oh boy.
That is an 18.
10.
10. No, neither of you.
Marionette,
Gods.
what does the Crassius family do that would keep them away for so long? Surely their business is here in Kanrath.
I confess I do not know the nature of the master's business. It is not in my remit.
Would it be worth paying a visit to your home to see if we can
think-
find answers?
This is something I have been considering, and yes, I think it would be prudent. Maybe to perhaps go into the study and see what. I did help the master occasionally with some of his administration, but not in terms of the depth of his business.
Well,
You would at least know what point you've been told from Bro.
It's blood related,
I think.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so angst and blood
He's
related.
been dealing with blood,
Special
but
blood.
specialist.
blood.
And the fact that Loken has just said he's mentioned Cyherested.
Mm.
Maybe another port of call.
Indeed.
As for... Sorry, Marcus, please, this
No.
is your home.
You mentioned the first best lead you could give us now is to go to the southwest of Kanrath. What is to be found there?
Well, let's just say us vampires don't really like to go there. Purely because of the sounds and smells. It is
Enticing.
disgusting. I know you are vampires yourselves, but if someone were to start a cult, perhaps they would start it there where vampires are less likely to go.
I'm going to presume that dock in the southwest is where... Yeah, cool.
Well,
Possible cult origins.
I know the area well.
And you suggest that someone may have got their hands on Founder Blood.
It is but a theory. If the founder was the only one with this power originally, and it just so happens that this exact event happens again, who's to say?
Where is your master's household situated in the city?
You would know that it was in that second band, so it's not in the Freedom Square where most nobles are.
Just outside.
Just outside.
Yeah.
Southwest?
The fringes of the freedom.
You had to go past this sort of district as you came to where you are now.
Okay.
It's the
So-
almost freedom square.
Perhaps you could pop in.
Indeed. Or not.
Is there anything else that I can help you with, Marcus?
I'll be like, how fares Sister Acolyte Medica?
You two were always friendly, weren't you?
Friendly.
It's a friendly competition.
Yeah.
Player.
She's not currently here. She's carrying out some duties out in the streets.
She now.
Not like important.
Got to get those fangs somehow. I did not realize your master was a pimp.
Explains a lot about you, Marcus.
You subservient fuck. Such a little simp.
Just such a little simp.
Marcus Simporius.
No, that's not my fade.
Yeah,
It is like
Yeah.
a light gesture.
he says that she is elsewhere. She's not within the confines of what this place is right now. Out doing some missions.
I'll say, tell her to mind her step or something, you know, like.
Threatening.
I'll pass the word along.
What's that?
I'll let her know that you are at least still around.
And pray, do forgive my ignorance. I am but young. Who is it that you are praying to here?
Well, the blood god, of course.
Of course.
Yes.
Well, Marinette, we seem to be passing by your home while we head to the lower reaches of the city.
You will both wipe your feet on the mat before you enter.
You didn't fucking do it here, did you?
I don't wear shoes.
He doesn't say that.
I'm presuming that's you
You've
inviting us
tracked
in.
your shit.
I will invite you in. Yes.
Well, if
Stay
that's,
outside, not allowed.
if that's everything, I must conduct business as usual. So, unless there's anything else, I shall bid you farewell.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, my master. It's good to see you again.
You're very much more interested. Right.
No, he wouldn't say that. You're very... No, he'll wait till it's outside. Okay.
And he will gesture back to the way you came, back through where Jim Dorman is next to the door, ready to waiting for.
I'll give him a bow and like a
Headbutt.
like a sort of thing.
Nice to see you again, Marcus.
Goodbye, my master.
You would get a hand on your shoulder just as you leave.
Me.
Yes. It's Logan. And he pulls you back a bit as you guys sort of carry
If
on.
you fucking ever.
Bring them here again.
He'll get
No.
a little bit quite close to you, and he'll say,
Make sure you don't speak of what happened here, what you saw when you came in, to anyone. You understand?
I do, my master.
Good.
I shall.
And make sure that your
Sure.
companions do not do the same. Do the same.
Very well, my
Forgive my words, I'm a bit out of it.
Tell everyone.
You're pissed, aren't you? You're pissed, my master.
All that
God's
blood.
sake.
I'm positively buzzing.
No.
I just thought I'd give you a warning, Marcus. As you know, we do things a little differently, and We're trying a few things out.
I will keep to my word that I will not utter a single syllable in
Good.
regards to what is happening here.
That's what I like to hear. And he'll pat you on the shoulder.
What is happening here?
Do you ask?
No, I think I would know.
Okay.
Um,
I mean,
Would you like
Do
to
you know?
I think Marcus would know. Alex would like to know more.
you can roll a I wouldn't say history. Arcana.
Oh, that's a good roll.
Oh,
Bonus tonight, mate.
19.
Love that.
19. Okay. Okay. You've seen this ritual once before. It wasn't too long ago.
About the time of the Crimson Reign.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Before the Crimson Reign,
Yeah.
for sure, like a good few months ago at least. Even as Loken had said just now with the conversation, that he's trying to be better. And you kind of trying to piece it together a little bit, him sort of absorbing this blood that's around him and the chanting. There's definitely some sort of ritual towards the blood god, and with, not that you understand the words of the chanting, only Marionette does. You would probably gather that he's trying to improve the vampiric abilities
Is this...
to an extent that it exceeds that of even perhaps the founder himself.
Okay.
And you would know that Loken has mentioned before, just kind of like in passing, I'll do it in his voice. Imagine if one day we could roam the earth, free of all our restraints, not having to worry about the sun.
It's called Sunblock, my master. You can get it at Kanrath Best Buys. 2KF.
Doesn't quite.
Would you like me to get you something?
Factor 50,000.
And like words to that effect of trying to break the restraints of being a vampire. And, you know, what if there were no downsides? What if they could have all these abilities and not be hindered by the likes of silver and stakes to the heart and stuff like that? What if they didn't have those weaknesses?
Cool.
Yeah, make of that what you will. And you exit this headquarters, or whatever this dead sun risen thing might be, and you make your way back up the stairs. And as you sort of leave, the lamps turn off as you go.
Marcus, I think you might be in a cult.
Yes, boy.
Well, I did say before, the difference between a cult and a creed is royal funding.
I think the ethics, though, still make it a cult. Surely
Yeah.
it is
And are you
more.
saying that that is funded by the royal castle?
No.
No, it is not, is it? Your Grand Acolyte Lurkham does not want them knowing about this, does he?
Would he... I would assume the Crimson King would be aware of the cult of the dead sun. It's really fun.
I love this one. It's so great.
Now you know that the dead sun risen is meant to be kept somewhat secret.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
So,
it would
Crimson King would know of the Crimson Order,
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah.
Whether he knows of the dead sun risen, you
No.
are unsure.
be... Probably not.
You don't have any direct dealings
No.
with the Crimson King, so
Yeah. What was your question, sorry?
Well, it's not really a question, but one thing can be sure. Our masters all sought power in some kind of way.
Yours really does.
It really does.
Really does.
He is an interesting master, I will say.
He's a good man, my master.
Is he?
Is he?
Well, he...
Marcus, do you speak Old Common?
Speak common.
Do you speak Old Common?
You see, I was subsisting on the scum of the sewers. I was in gangs, and I was lifted up by my master, and he granted me the gift, the dark gift of vampirism. And I was trained in the arts of the creed of the Crimson.
In the crypt of the Temple of the Crypt.
He gave me a better existence.
Well,
So in my books, he is a good man.
I have only known one existence, and it has been pain and fear. Your master is interesting to me, but if you don't think that, like the others, he is after power, then you are sorely mistaken.
Just
don't we
to
all?
put us a bit of, context on this. That chanting, I didn't get all of it, but 2 key things rather stood out. Blood of the gods infuse thee. Please give us your powers, O benevolent one. Now that's a bit of
speak
extreme
old
power.
Did you
Only
write
a
that
little.
down?
I'm rather rusty. Pardon the pun.
Did you write it down?
Yes, I did.
Can I? I
I
see
think
that.
Marinette has been taking notes because I do have a little calligraphy set. Using the most beautifully scripted piece of paper there.
I'm just gonna be like,
Now
I always
remembering.
work in triplicate.
Now remembering we have a mortal with us, he just turns on his heel towards Ethan. Now,
He's like finishing up some notes. Yes?
Do you not think it curious that not necessarily the people from the portrait, but all of the Crimson King's friends all look to gain power? This locum looks to defy the Crimson Gods by taking away the impurities and the weaknesses of the vampiric. Surely that would be a boon in a fight against, or in a rebellion, surely, against the king, to be able to fight during the day.
It certainly could be, but
What did you make of that in there, Ethan Ward?
I mean, it's definitely unusual, I'll tell you that. I've never seen anything like that before. But
Going once, going twice.
it is not exactly evidence.
I'm just gonna be looking at Ethan like that. That.
I imagine we're not just stood outside the fucking door.
No,
we
you're
are
like you're sort of like midway up the sort of,
It's a while to get back up.
yeah, 5-10 minutes.
And you have no memory of where you're coming from.
Look, I'm just a human. I don't really understand what's going on here with all these rituals and shit like that. But
I'm sure the Grand Advisor needs to know.
it would be certainly unusual for more vampires to be on the side that wants to kill the vampires. That doesn't make a lot of sense to
They've
me.
done it before,
Huh?
but they have done it before,
Ah.
whether intentionally or not.
And my sole purpose, apparently, was to usurp.
And he just fucking dead-eye stares
Well,
in and says
so-
that.
Are you talking about the rebellion?
I'm talking about the first blood rain because whether intentional or not,
Kill both sides.
They killed both sides, yes, but there was on the side that was trying to get rid of the vampires, there was only but one vampire, and that was because they were turned during the middle of the fucking rebellion.
True, but how
As a
convenient
punishment.
is it that the one thing that saves the vampires also thins out the numbers so that feeding on the cattle becomes...
Something doesn't add up.
No.
Something is wrong, and I can't quite piece it together. But I have a niggling feeling that we're missing a piece of the puzzle here.
Shall we go see if Master Crassius has anything to say on the matter?
Yes, and please be respectful about it when we're in this house. Thank you very
I
much.
have nothing but...
Just when you see them walking away.
Fear, darling, your respect and reverence is entirely performative, and don't think I don't recognise it.
He just smiles, bows deeply.
You little shit.
It's about this time that you exit from the entrance, and you are back out onto the streets. Exit from the entrance.
That's another fucking.
There's an episode title. It's about now you exit from the entrance.
And you are back out onto the northern streets near the lake that resides in Kanrath. And you have to go sort of travelling back south a little bit.
Could I do a perception check to see if anybody's following us or watching us now that we've left the castle, gone all the way over here, but now that we're exiting this sect, and obviously something that's supposed to be secretive, this is something that's innate to fear. Leaving somewhere that's secretive is now that kind of
Perception check.
oh, that went on a journey. It's really low, it's a 3. We are clear, guys.
Yeah, you don't think anyone notices you. You think you're probably okay because you had to go through a few corners to get around the alleyways.
Sorry, 5.
Yeah, same thing.
Definitely clear,
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, you have to go quite through alleyways to get here, so it's not like it's clearly seen from the main street. So you're probably okay, but you can't see anything.
Sweet.
You're all clear. You're back out on the streets, and I think the next thing that you want to go do is to go to the House of Crassius, which is just on this outskirts of the noble districts. And we will do that next episode.
Ooh.
Shocking.
Shocking scene.
Oh my god. So,
Cool.
yeah, thanks for playing, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
More investigations happening.
I didn't do a very good job of keeping my secret society so secret.
Well,
Come in, guys. What are you doing, Master?
So all the secrets are coming out in this one. I think they're starting to make their way through.
As a means to an end.
So-
I wanted you to know.
next episode we'll see what Crash's household has to say, and has to perhaps give you some lore on what's going on. And then who knows what's happening after that?
You do.
Oh, that's right. I
Feels
do.
good, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking love it. Oh, look at this. Oh,
Fucking nerds. So thank you to everyone who watches this, and thank you to our supporters and sponsors.
we hope you had a great Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Happy New Year in 2 days.
By the time you see this, we will have had Christmas. So I hope it went well.
How did Christmas go?
Oh, let's roll.
What's out the tray? It's a 10.
It's a 10.
10 across
a
the board.
nice average Christmas.
A nice have a average Christmas, guys.
From all of us at Dragonborn Industries,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
mean that.
Have an average Christmas.
And an average New Year.
So we'll see you all another time. Bye-bye.
Bye.